You wanted moderation, and
Calm
now
down.
you're
Calm
crying about
down.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
calm
moderate
down. We're
it.
just gonna present
I'm
the
literally
stipulations of
telling
the
you to take
moderation.
turns. Stop talking.
Gigi, can you mute him
Calm
real quick? Because
down, you
obviously he's gonna
calm
keep
down, you
asking. Can you mute him real
psychopath.
quick?
Calm
Gigi,
down,
can
you
you mute him real
psychopath.
quick?
It's
I
my
think
turn.
Sam say
I'm the one
something.
who's arguing for the affirmative. I'm the
Gigi, can
one
you mute him real
arguing
quick? He's
for the
obviously crashing
affirmative. So I'm
out.
going to give my opening
He's
statement
obviously crashing
first.
out. Calm down, little
Calm
boy. Calm down.
down.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm
Calm
down.
down, son.
Gigi, could you mute
I
him real quick? We
see.
gotta obviously get
Relax,
the
dude.
stipulations correct because he doesn't want
My
to actually have a
seed.
proper
Shut up.
debate.
Relax. He's running
Okay, can you
from the
calm
debate.
down? Calm
He's
down.
running
Okay, you
from
don't
the debate.
actually
You
have an
want to go into
argument,
the
so
meta
you want to
dialogue. You
actually
want to
just
go
go
into
to
a
the
meta
rhetoric and
dialogue. You want
obviously
to
have the
debate,
but you're
give
not
a
gonna
debate
actually,
over
you're
the
not gonna have that,
conditions
way
for the
out,
debate and not actually
guys,
debate
guys,
on God's existence
this
because
is what
he's
we're
a
gonna do. This is what we're gonna
sprinter.
do, guys.
Now,
Both of you guys.
okay, God. So I'm
Both
going
of
to
you.
give my
One second.
opening statement. So, what's up?
We're gonna go
Okay.
side by side. Okay, one side speaks, and then afterwards we unmute and then let the other side speak. Guys, please
Lovely,
don't speak
lovely.
over each other.
I agree with this, Jahal. This is the lovely, but he's scared of this sort of like a condition.
Okay.
So I'm going to give my opening statement. Right. So just to be clear for the recording, me and this low tier piece of trash named Alexander, whose back got blown out previously today, which is asking for a rematch for currently, are going to be debating on God's existence again. Right? I'm going to be defending theism, of course, because I'm a Muslim, and of course God exists. And this retard is going to be an agnostic because he has no actual argument. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And with that being said, I would like to make it pretty clear for the recording that I'll be presenting a particular argument, which is my own argument. It's the ontological argument which I made, which I'll be posting in the side chat. And if it is required for me to actually read out the premises of the argument for any other person who is listening to this conversation or who will be listening to this conversation on the recording, then I'll read out the actual premises. With that being said, I'll post the argument first, and then afterwards, the low tier scumbag can give his response in his opening statements, right? And then I'll get muted afterwards. And with that, I'm done talking. I'll get the actual argument, and then I'll see whatever responses he has to make in his opening or in his cross-examination part of the dialectic. Okay? Hold up.
Are you finished with your opening statement, Apollo? Okay. I'll take that as a yes. Okay.
Yeah, so the argument is posted in the side chat, so now we can let the dog off the leash and he can give his response. Go for it, boy.
Okay, I'll unmute Alexander and mute you, Apollo.
All right, could you server mute him real quick?
Yep. On it. Got it.
All right, gotcha. So let me just obviously we're having a discussion over whether God exists. So we're gonna ask him to like defend the claim that that God exists. All right, obviously, here's what's gonna happen during this combo. All he's gonna do is like give an argument that's obviously shitty. I'm gonna ask for defense of the premises. He's not gonna defend the premises. What he's gonna attempt to do is just like ask my position on certain things that has obviously no relevance to whether the argument is true. Or he's gonna simply just say like some complete blunder where when I'm gonna ask for defense for the premise, he's gonna say, well, a P and not P is that the P is that God exists mind independently, which obviously I wouldn't grant. I don't agree that the word God itself is the same as the thing or the object attempted to be portrayed. So he's obviously just going to blunder there. And then once he realizes that he can't actually defend that claim, he's going to get to the relevance, the app, and he's going to try to get anything to do that he can try to make the debate, as long as possible and not actually having to like defend the premise. But obviously, since he's not going to be able to do that, it's going to be embarrassment, obviously, for him, like whenever he tries to actually give an argument. But yeah, we're going to have a moderation. You do make sure that anytime he gets a relevant point, just mute him. Obviously, we want to stick to the actual, point of the discussion. All right. Anyways,
are you done with your opening statement?
Let me read the actual arguments. Yeah, let me see which premise I would reject. Informational structure, more reality of meta-ontology is true than the first order conceptual or semantical conditions necessarily exist. He said that all this premise is meaning that all sort of information is going to be or all sort of things that exist are going to be some sort of information. Now, I'm actually going to question what he means by that, but I'm going to use some sort of primitive idea of what he's going to use to mean information to be a sort of property or some sort of, ground level thing. And then informational structure realism model of meta-ontology is true. Probably not going to disagree with that premise because that's not what I'm actually interested in him defending. That was first order conceptual and semantic conditions necessarily exist. Yeah, so I would obviously have a partial agreement to this premise as long as how it's portrayed. If he means that, for example, the word God exists Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Now he's going to say, when the word God exists, does that mean that the actual terms used to define God exist, for example, like omnipotent being, all these other things? Obviously, no, because that would be fucking stupid. That's like saying, if I define a unicorn as a non-mind dependent being, then that means the unicorn actually exists extramentally, which is fucking stupid because there's no actual contradiction in the same sense. Because for it to be a contradiction in the same sense, it would be P equals the unicorn is defined as mind independent being, and the not P would be the unicorn is not defined as a mind independent being, which would be the actual P and not P, but not the actual P and not P wants to present. But anyways, let's see his defense for the premises.
Okay, Alexander, I'll mute you and put you on server mute and unmute Apollo. 1 sec. There you go to Apollo.
My little sperm, my little son, he's so scared. He's nervous of the fucking arguments, right? You can hear him shaking through his responses, right? With that being said, I want to address a couple of things. So he agrees with premise two. He says he does not disagree with premise two. So premise one and premise two are things which do not require justification. Premise one is obviously the case given the definition of information. That's going to be trivially true. Premise two, my opponent does not even have any disagreements with or any expostulations with. So that's going to be something which does not require the justification. Now, this is what I'm talking about. You know, he does the thing in his opening statements where he makes precognitions of what's going to go on, right? He says, "Oh, he's going to argue this." Who is that? Anyways, he makes precognitions of what is going on or predictions of what will happen. So he doesn't actually address the point I made in this conversation. He makes predictions of points which he thinks I will make, unjustifiably so, without even actually attacking the point I've actually made this far in the conversation. With that being said, he made the point that the position that the event highlighted is going to be something which is idiotic on the basis of him being able to define a unicorn or baking into the definition of a unicorn that it is mind independent. But the idiotic scumbag loser atheist forgot the part where it is specified in the premises of the argument that the properties, the semantic or conceptual properties, are first order. You dipshit. It's not the second order semantic property or conceptual property. But you're talking about their second order nature. So when you say that something is mind independence or mind dependence, those are epistemic properties. Those are meta epistemic properties, which describes, don't know what the hell that was, but that describes the relation between the thing which is represented by a given word or concept and the actual world, whether or not this is going to be the case that such thing is dependent on our minds, or it is not dependent on our minds and it transcends whether or not some mind exists. That means its existence does not require any mind's existence. These are meta properties. These are second order properties. My conceptual analysis of meta ontology is specifically about first order properties. So literally 5 minutes into the conversation and he's already building up a straw man to slap it down. I won't even attack the actual point I'm making. Now, I would like to add on another thing, which is simply that with respects to him agreeing with the second premise, right, and the first premise being trivially true, we can get to the reason as to why it would be the case that God exists, right? Of course, if he agrees with the premise or the first premise and the second premise being true, which he's not objected and has not disagreed with, then trivially it is the case that God exists. And by God, I'm not talking about the word, I'm not talking about the definition of God, I'm talking about the thing which is being represented by the definition of the word. So the thing which the word or the definition would be about, considering that definitions are intentional states and words and these linguistic tokens are intentional states, then clearly it would be the case that God would be something which exists because my view, which he literally did not disagree with, which is the second premise, trivially entails that all things would exist, even if it is going to be something which is a fictional object, even a fictional object like unicorn exists. But it exists as a mere imagination, right? There are different types of existences. So Spider-Man exists, but as something within your head or as something within your mind. Unicorns exist, but there's something within your mind. These are things which exist, even if they're fictional. They exist as imaginations. So with that being said, I would like for him to retract the very terrible response he has given to my arguments about the unicorn example, considering the straw man he's given, and then retry again, right? I'm going to give him another chance to redeem himself and try again, and so far as given a proper substantive objection to my fucking argument. So go ahead, retard. Don't disappoint me, son.
I'm gonna unmute Alexander, then put Apollo.
So obviously, that was a complete blunder. He tried to address the straw. Well, he's claiming it's a straw man, but it was not a straw man. It's a simple parody to a stupid argument. He's simply saying that it's a first order property. It's not a second. It's a first order property. and he's saying that a first order property would be the definition entailed within the actual word. So if I say the unicorn, for example, is definitionally mind independent, then if I were to say that the unicorn only exists in the mind, this stupid fucking idiot is going to say, well, it's a contradiction because the P and not P is the unicorn is defined. The word itself, the unicorn, is going to be identical to the semantic property whenever it's actually portrayed in the actual real world. So he's actually a genuinely fucking idiot. But anyways, yeah, he didn't properly address my parody to his like stupid arguments. He didn't defend the premise. And another thing that he asserted that without justification, by the way, is that whenever you use the word God, right, that there's something that's actually being picked out that's identical to the sort of conceptual properties within that definition or that word. That's what I'm actually asking him to defend. I'm not asking him to defend that there's a word God, there's a definition of God, or there's some sort of concept that has some sort of things that portray what we'd understand or that we believe God to be, right? I'm asking him to defend that there's something that's actually being picked out whenever you use the word God. Because obviously, if you're saying that all things either represent something in reality or they don't, then obviously you're just going to say that the unicorn example that I gave, which he couldn't address, by the way, he couldn't address that at all. He tried to, but completely blundered. Obviously, you're going to say that the unicorn has to exist experimentally because by definition, the unicorn is mind independent, which is obviously fucking stupid and like retarded. So I'm going to ask him to defend. Isn't that the idea that there's a word called the unicorn, for example, or the word called God? I'm asking him to defend the idea that the word is picking out something that's experimental. That's what I'm asking him to defend. But obviously, he's not going to defend that. He's not going to be able to defend that at all. That would obviously just be question making. But anyways, let's see if it's actually going to give some sort of substantive critique to either the parody. The first attempt that he made to make a critique to the parody, obviously, is like just completely failed. And like he doesn't even know what he's talking about. First order properties. Yeah, obviously, a first order property is going to be what's going to be entailed by this definition of the term. But I'm not asking you to defend that there is some sort of thing, like a word or some sort of first order property conceptually. I'm asking you to defend that there's some sort of actual property that's being portrayed whenever you describe it. But anyways, give the arguments. Not interested in the stupid like rhetoric. Anyways, give the argument.
Yo, someone unmute my goat, Apollo.
That's exciting. I don't know.
Hello, is there a mod? Let's watch him attempt to defend the premise. Anyways,
Okay, can we just get a mod to do it? Unmod Apollo. Unmod.
We have like
Drum.
50 mods in this VC, bro. I got like 50 mods in this VC.
Finally, holy, put this like dog back on the mute button. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, I just want to address a couple of things, a couple of misconceptions and misinterpretations and misrepresentations from this dumb, idiotic goblin I'm debating, right? So he said I've not even addressed. I don't know why he's still unmuted. Why is he not server muted yet? Good. So to continue with what I'm saying, he said I've not even addressed the parody arguments. Well, I actually did, right? I'm going to break it down further. I told you specifically that by first order semantical or conceptual properties, it would not include mind dependent or mind independent. I have highlighted what it means for something to be mind dependent and mind independent, and what would fall under the category of second order semantical or conceptual properties, not first order, right? The distinction is the second order properties are going to be meta epistemic statuses of given facts or given objects, but they are not the types of things which describes the existential import or the existential analysis or the metaphysical profile of a given object insofar as it makes a determination on if it exists in the actual world given the definition. I've highlighted the distinction. He lies, actually. He actually lied mid-response by saying my analysis of first order properties is just anything you bake into any moment in our previous conversation and in this conversation. That's not been something which has ever been mentioned. The reason why I specified in my premise of my argument that the semantical or conceptual properties has to be first order is for the reason being that I know that dumb fucks like this guy would give a response as trash as this, and of course I anticipated this. I've anticipated that, and as a result of this, I specify that the semantical or conceptual properties, which is relevant to my meta-ontology, or by the means by which I determine if something exists or not, has to be first order and not second order, because the second order one results in contradictions, and also it is less parsimonious to believe in that meta-ontological theory than the current meta-ontological theory that I adopt, which is just confined to first order properties, right? So, the very fact of there being contradictory entailments from combining both the first order and second order properties to determine existence, and the fact that such a hypothesis or a theory would be less parsimonious than my current theory, which is just confined to the first order semantical or conceptual properties, would in fact be the epistemic motivation as to why it would be the case that the premises and my position is correct. And with that being said, the unicorn parody argument he's trying to basically launch or trying to basically throw towards me would completely fail for the very reason being that it operates under a straw man. It operates under the presupposition that mind dependence slash mind independence would be something which can be within the set of properties that I use to determine existence, which clearly is not the case, right? Given my analysis of what I've given a while ago. And I'll break this out further for him in math terms. If you have the set of all things which are first order semantical or conceptual properties, that set shares no intersection with the set of things which are the properties of mind dependence or mind independence, which is just to say that mind dependence or mind independence is not going to be an element of the set of first order properties. There's no intersection, right? So for you to be saying, or for you to be presupposing that your example and your parody argument was successful, is for it to be simultaneously assuming baselessly also that it is the case that in my premise when I was talking about first order properties that would be compatible with just baking into the definition of a given object, that it would be the case that it's mind dependent or mind independent. But that's not the case. These are two exclusive conditions. So that was a straw man, that was a blunder, that was a non-point, that was a gobbledygook response. I'm gonna give you another chance again. Second chance from your dad to try again, try to debunk the argument, try to track the argument, try to comprehend the argument, and stop giving dumb fuck responses, you subhuman ape. Give a response right now, retard.
Okay, so obviously he realized that his argument is just shitty. So what he's going to switch to now is just like, okay, so if you say second order properties, for example, are not going to mean that something actually exists, we're going to use first order properties. Well, this is still not going to work, obviously, right? So let me give you another example, right? So we have God A, which would be mind independent or omnipotent being. We could just use the term omnipotent being, omnipotent God A. And we have God B, omnipotent God B. He thinks that because both of these definitions entail that there's some sort of like mind independent thing that exists in reality, then that means that both these gods would exist. This dude is a fucking idiot, obviously. And then even we can even use a better example because he obviously couldn't address the unicorn example obviously properly, and he failed completely. He just said that, oh, it's arbitrary, or it's just introducing a new criteria. Which, by the way, he hasn't even defended the criteria anyways. But let me use the same criteria that he wants to use, even for the unicorn. He defines potency, for example, as a first order property. So we could just say the same arguments. Okay, so the unicorn is defined as a property or having a property, for example, the potency to be not mind independent or not dependent on any sort of thing. The potency itself is the mind independence or the ability to exist without being subsisting in some sort of mind. And that's all you have to do to make the complete parody that he tried to defend. You completely just backtrack and show that it's not going to work. It's not going to actually get past the defense. It's obviously a fucking idiot. But anyways, what I'm asking for him to do is obviously defend the idea that the definitions are obviously identical to, some sort of like thing in reality. And if he's not trying to defend that, then he's obviously going to say that even if they're not identical, that there's something that's going to pick out. So if he's saying that there's something that's going to pick out, what I'm going to ask him to defend is obviously the idea that it's picking out something in reality. He's not going to be able to defend that, obviously. He's going to try to give a P and not P from that, which is going to be just a fail. Like he's going to think that a definition is identical to in the same, because obviously he doesn't understand that a P and not P has to be in the same sense. Now you can't just say that a definition would be a contradiction by it not existing in real life. So, for example, a P and not P, a proper P and not P would be, for example, God is defined as mind independent, right? That wouldn't be, nobody would reject that P. But the not P to that proposition would be God is not defined as a mind independent being, which nobody said that, all right? Now, he's going to use it for the way that he wants to use it, obviously, is going to be God is a mind independent being, which is obviously the question begging what I'm asking you to defend. And then he's going to say the not P from that is me saying that God is mind dependent. I don't believe that there's something that's being picked out whenever you use the same properties as God to be referring to some sort of actual object that has the same first order properties in reality. So obviously he's going to fail at that as well. Let's see him give the argument an attempt, but he's obviously going to fail. He didn't actually address the arguments that I gave him with the unicorn, or he's definitely not going to be able to address the second one. But let's see him attempt and completely fail.
Yeah, so just to highlight a couple of things. So he keeps on guessing what I'm going to say, keeps on guessing what's going to happen. And each time he keeps on guessing, he keeps on failing. Right? So that's the first thing. Stop guessing. He tried to cope with the straw man. He tried to cope with his mistrack of what I was saying, the mistrack of my premise, the mistrack of the information within my premise by saying, he switched up. He switched up. Yeah, no one switched up, dude. What happened was you misrepresented the freaking point. And then when you realized, when you got caught with your pants down, you try to cry about it. You try to basically try to use this weird, dishonest, nasty rhetoric. Whereas you try to act as if the person switched up to paint the person as a dishonest interlocutor, when in reality, you are an inept interlocutor. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing that I need to highlight here is the unicorn example. I can define the unicorn as something which has the tendency to be mind independent. Yeah, as if there aren't thousands of objects which has this potency. For any object which is mind independent, it has the potency to be mind independent. So for one, that's a terrible definition of a unicorn, because basically, given that definition of a unicorn, you are a unicorn, you idiot. You're trying to basically use a word which is generally associated with a fictional concept, and then try to basically impose an idiosyncratic definition on that word to paint the false narrative that my argument fails when it did not in fact fail. That's the first thing. Given your definition of unicorn, there are millions of unicorns. You are a unicorn, I'm a unicorn, everyone is listening to you getting blown the fuck out to this conversation would also be a unicorn, given this conversation, given your definition of what the unicorn is first. Secondly, even given that definition, it doesn't follow from something having the potency to be mind independent that it is in fact mind independent. My argument is me saying, given the semantical properties which is associated with God, it would be the case that an entailment, a semantic entailment of this proposition, is going to be the case that God exists objectively. So it doesn't follow from unicorns having the potency to be mind independent, that it is in fact mind independent. However, given my argument and given the definition of God being omnipotent and omniscient, it would follow necessarily that he is mind independent, and I'll explain why. Now, the reason as to why this would be the case is omnipotence is just going to be the type of thing which reflects maximal causal power, maximal causal sovereignty, right? So he's being able to have causal efficacy over all the logical possibilities. And I'm a necessitarian. I believe all things in the actual world is going to be all things which are going to be reflective of the set of all logical possibilities. So God is able to actualize all things which are existent, and all of that thing, or all of the set of that thing, is going to be the type of thing which is identical to all the logical possibilities. And so, if you have such a being which has maximal causal power and has maximal causal sovereignty, then it is the first cause. However, if you were to say that God is just a mere imagination or a mere thought or a mere concept, that's going to entail that it is mind dependent, because thoughts, concepts, and imaginations, given their metaphysical profile, are necessarily mind dependent. However, if it is mind dependent, then it cannot be the first cause, because to be the first cause entails not be dependent on anything, you idiots. So clearly, it's going to be the case that given those properties, we can make a synthetic a priori judgment, which is entailed from the semantic property of God, that God would have to be mind dependent. That's not me defining God to be mind independent. That's me basically deriving that God is mind independent based on separate, conceptual, isolated concepts or properties, which is baked in the definition of God, which is a different point, right? So that was not a question begging argument. That's a proof by contradiction. It is just to say that assuming that God is mind dependent entails a contradiction, and so we have to believe in the opposing hypothesis, which is that God is mind independent, and so that would be the evidence for the proposition. That's not the question begging argument. That's a legitimate, valid argument in first order logic or in formal logic. So just making that clear before you commit another blunder by strawmanning the position, strawmanning the argument, and making a baseless claim and pontificates about how you believe the argument is trash when you're still losing to said argument. And with that being said, and then talking.
Okay, so obviously just completely I failed again to critique the unicorn example that I gave. So what he did was actually not even critique the unicorn example. What he did was simply say, well, the unicorn example actually does apply, but it would just be that the case that, oh, well, actually, well, technically everyone is a unicorn. Okay, no, that's not what I fucking mean when I say the unicorn would be omnipotent or mind independent, for example. We could use this exact same example in a specific, more exclusive definition, right? For example, you could have the rainbow magical unicorns, the pink fluffy unicorns, right? And we could just simply say all these are first order properties. For example, being pink, being fluffy, being having the ability to fly, flying all over the universe. And then he's going to say, okay, these are first order properties. So he grants that purpose. So now we're going to simply apply another proposition, simply the potency to, for example, be mind independent. Now he's going to now also not made another blunder, by the way. He said that potency itself is not actual. So he's not saying, he's simply saying that the potency is going to be not going to mean that the actual thing has some sort of actual causal power. So this is going to completely defeat his own argument, because he realizes that if he's saying that God is omnipotent, all he's saying is he has the ability to be omnipotent, or the ability to do all these different things. So if he's saying the unicorn example that I gave is wrong because it's simply the potency, then we could apply the exact same example, because he realized it defeats his own argument. You could simply apply that same exact sample and then conclude from that position that, for example, the unicorn itself would be or having some sort of maximal causal power, because he thinks that potency itself is maximal causal power. And obviously, I'm not going to grant that, this is obviously a stupid argument. So I'm not going to grant that, for example, the unicorn, for example, when we use the term unicorn, that we're reflecting some sort of thing that's actually in existence that has some sort of mind independent or causal power. He gave a false contradiction. Obviously, he doesn't actually know how to give a proper contradiction. So the P that he gave was that, for example, that God has a maximal causal power, which is obviously, not like anything would grant. I don't even believe God exists. So if you're saying God has maximal causal power, are you either saying that the definition of God or the word God itself has maximal causal power, which is obviously fucking stupid as well. And he's not saying, and obviously when I pointed out in that last debate, he's going to say, well, I'm not using God to mean the definition. I'm not using God to mean the word. So if you're not using it to mean either of those, what are you saying has maximal causal power? You don't even know what you're talking about. He's going to say, if he's going to say something, some actual object, then I'm going to ask him to defend that premise, because that's obviously what we came here to debate about. We're not here to debate about whether he wants to define God or use a word, for example, God, that he believes to have some sort of maximal causal power. He's actually fucking it. But anyways, let's see him actually try to, defend the premise. This is like the fourth time he's tried to make an objection to the unicorn example. He's failed each time, completely getting slapped up every single time that he tries to give a counter, and realizing that his fucking argument is going to completely destroy him in a contradiction. And he actually didn't, what's funny? He didn't even try to address this example that I gave with the two omnipotent beings. And he obviously just completely blundered with that. Didn't want to actually address the point. And anyways.
Yeah, so just a couple of things. You've never given an example of two omnipotent beings, but now that you've given the example, there's a pretty obvious response. An omnipotent being is defined to have maximal causal sovereignty. So it's having causal sovereignty. What that means is having causal power over all the things that actually exist. If you have two omnipotent beings that entails a contradiction, because neither of these given beings have a causal power or causal efficacy over the other being, and so clearly it would be the case that there would not actually be a single omnipotent being given that particular hypothetical that you're trying to present as a possibility. So there's a clear contradiction there if there were to be two omnipotent beings, and that's going to be irrelevant to the actual point. Now, to address the other stuff that you've been saying thus far, no one has ever said that potency lacks actual causal power. Where are you getting this from? You just make up these fantasies about what's going on in the actual conversation and just keep on attacking these fantasies. You just shadowboxing. You're dialectically shadowboxing the entire time because you're getting beaten up in the dialectical octagon right now. What's going to happen is I'm going to repeat the point I mentioned, and I'm going to hope that you actually understand what I'm saying here. The point I was mentioning is not to say that potency does not have causal power. Under my position, all potencies have causal power, because all potencies are going to be reflective of some sort of metaphysical possibility, which I take to be identical to logical possibility. And the set of all logical possibilities is going to be identical to the set of all actualities. There's going to be a bijection between both sets. right? So that's going to be an incorrect claim and the strawman again of my position, firstly. Secondly, it is going to be the case that you're going to be talking about how I'm just merely defining God to be X, Y, Z. When I say the word God, right, when I say God exists, what I mean there is that there exists a being with maximal causal power or maximal causal sovereignty, which is also omniscient. That's all I mean there. So if we just rephrase the debate proposition, it would just be translated from God exists to there exists a being with maximal causal power, which is all knowing. And that's going to be something which is necessarily true because you agreed that all things are true because you conceded to the second premise of the argument, you idiot. The second premise of the argument states that informational structural realism is true. That claim specifically entails that all things exist because all things is going to have first order semantical or conceptual properties, you dipshit scumbag. So you already conceded that all things exist. Now, what you're going to want to say is that it is possible, sorry, that you could have a being which is all-knowing with maximal causal power, which is just a mere imagination, which I've illustrated the opposite. I've illustrated as to why it is the case that such thing is not even a logical possibility, because anything with maximal causal power, maximal causal sovereignty, would have to be the first cause. And of course, if something is mind-dependent, it is not the first cause because it is caused by minds, dependent on minds. You idiot. So that's another blunder, another lack of good objection. That's another non-point to the actual point I was mentioning in the conversation. Again, I want you to lock the fuck in, address the actual points I'm making, stop attacking shadow boxes, or stop attacking strawmans, I should say, and attack the actual points I'm making. And by the way, I gotta go pray pretty soon because Maghrib is coming in. So wrap this up before I go pray. Or what we can do is you can just postpone the conversation to after Maghrib and then I come back, like let's say 15 minutes after a response or something like that, like gonna bitch you afterwards. But anyways, give a response and I'll see if I can respond after you've given your response, depending on how long you take to respond to my actual points. And then I'll see if I can pray Maghrib and come back. Go.
So many blunders. I'm glad that he's actually able to defeat his own argument for himself. So he says that power itself is simply the ability to do something. So when he gives a P and not P, that P, for example, is God is mind independent, and the not P would be God is mind dependent. That's the obvious P and not P that he's giving me. All he's saying for right here is saying God has the ability to do everything, and the not P would be God does not have the ability to do something. So when he says that, when I say that God is mind dependent, for example, which I'm not saying, by the way, but let's say I give a word to say that. All he's saying is that the contradiction would be that God is able to not exist in the mind, but it's not actually existing in the mind or experimental to the mind. So he's actually just defeated his own arguments. If he's just simply saying that it's an ability or some sort of causal power, that's obviously not the same thing as actuality or some sort of actualization of that causal power. So yeah, he's obviously just defeated his own arguments, but obviously I wouldn't even grant this a stupidity anyways. I would obviously distinguish the definition between the term God when you use it to mean like the conceptual entity that you in a picture, for example, the properties like omnipotence, all these different things. I would always distinguish this from the actual thing that we attempt to portray or some sort of visual statement, because all I believe the definitions are just statements or words that we use to like sort of picture things in our minds, right? And obviously, we don't think that the words themselves are identical to what we pictured, because obviously, what we picture is just simply neurons. That's not what I believe. I don't believe that there's some sort of ontological object that's being like portrayed like some sort of property, some stupid property that exists in the mind. Like, for example, omnipotence or all that stupidity. Yeah, I'm not going to grant that. It's obviously not what I'm going to grant. But anyways, what else did he try to attempt? Oh yeah, he tried to attempt to defend the idea that, well, it would be a contradiction for there to be two omnipotent beings. Well, obviously, he's saying that all things exist. He thinks all words exist. So obviously, if you have two distinct words, right, then he's going to believe that there's going to already be two omnipotent beings. For example, God A of this religion, God B of this religion. If you just define these both things as having omnipotency, just say that it's omnipotent. Perfect. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is say that it's omnipotent, and then he's going to say that's a first order property, which means that first order properties by definition are going to mean that things exist in reality. But he's going to say, oh, it's a contradiction for these two things to exist in reality, which is going to defeat his own position, because by definition, his idea that first order properties mean that's going to reflect the reality it's going to already contradict his position. It's going to show a defeater. It's not even, he's saying that it's a contradiction as if that's supposed to be a defeated. He's actually defeating his own position and pretending that's defeating my position. It's defeating his own position. He doesn't actually understand it because he doesn't realize that by definition, if all things exist and first order properties mean that some sort of semantical or conceptual things, and you apply these things, for example, omnipotency to the being, and that means it automatically exists. It necessarily exists for his view to be true. But if he's saying that it's still not going to exist because it would be a contradiction, well, that would just be a defeater to his own position and showing that his own defeater or his own position would be defeated. He's obviously conceded his own argument is fucking shit. But anyways, let's see him trying to make a rebuttal and completely fail. Didn't address a single point that I actually made. He tried to with the unicorn multiple times and completely failed as well. He's just made an arbitrary like switch to first order, second order, and I still defeated on that as well. Anyways, but
So what I'm struggling to understand is how would it be the case that I made an arbitrary switch to first or from first order to second order and vice versa if it is specified in the argument prior to you even coming into this voice call, prior to even trying to respond to the argument that there is a first order property which is determined in existence. Clear this to the switch out because from the very get-go, before you even responded to the argument, first premise specifies that it is talking about first order semantical or conceptual properties, which defeats the whole false narrative that is switched up. Secondly, right, contradictions exist, right? I believe contradictions exist, just not objective, right? The position you highlighted of two omnipotent beings could not be a fact about the objective reality, could not be a fact about the external world, because it's a contradiction. However, that does not deny its existence. It just means it exists in a different fashion. It exists as a mere mental representation. Not a mental representation which you can visually imagine, but a mere mental representation which has certain conceptual conditions. In the field of philosophy of mind, you have two types of conceivability notions. You have negative conceivability and you have positive conceivability. One of which is going to be sufficiently determined based on being able to visually represent it by our mental faculties. The other type of conceivability does not require visual representation, but it is still going to be something which is a concept which is being thought about by given epistemic agents. Now, the case of what you're talking about there would not be reflective of the external world, but it would be reflective of something which is merely in the mind. And given the fact that the debate proposition is about if God exists objectively, you give it the hypothesis, me saying that it would not exist, but rather it's me saying it would not exist in the external world. There's a huge difference. It would still exist, but just as a mere contradiction in your pea-sized brain and not as an actual extramental object existing. You dumb, retarded victim. I'm going to tell you one more time again, right? That point got demolished. The unicorn example, I've never claimed that potency is going to be the type of thing, or rather properties is going to be the type of thing which entails of existence. I said that entails existence. Equal to me saying it entails objective existence. So even if it is the case that they've given an example of two things with some given set of properties which would exist, that doesn't mean that they exist objectively, which is the relevant thing we should be talking about given the context of the debate proposition. So your points got demolished, your arguments got demolished, your tracking skills is terrible, that 5 megabyte storage brain just cannot keep up with the conversation, it keeps on crashing out, and you keep on stuttering over your fucking words because you're nervous and you're confident. Right? So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go pray because it's Maghrib time. We can postpone the conversation and the next 15 minutes I'll come back after prayer. And then from there on, we can continue and you can give your responses and then we can go back and forth. Or we can just do cross-examination. But so far, you're doing a really bad job at making the case for atheism or making the case that my argument is unsuccessful. Just making them know that for now, right? I want the other guy to end the recording for the time being.
Obviously, you
And
just
then we
completely
just
failed to
postpone the
defend the
conversation.
argument. That was a complete, but actually, wait, Apollo. So you would agree that any sort of semantical properties that have, for example, first order properties would mean that the thing extramentally exists, correct?
We can do cross-examination for now until I go pray. That's fine. So what was the question, retard?
No, dude, don't run away. Answer the
I don't know why
question.
you're
It's a simple
fake laughing.
question.
You're doing a bad job
showed
right
how
now.
you
Why are you
defeated
fake
your own
laughing?
argument. Hold
What are you doing?
hold on. So you said that it's a
Every time?
contradiction for both of these beings to exist, right? Correct?
Yeah, and what is my explanation, retard?
Yeah, it would be a contradiction for
What is my explanation?
perfect. So
What's his explanation?
perfect. Okay, so would
Don't
you let me
dodge.
speak? Would you let me speak?
He's dodging.
Would you let me speak?
What is my
Would
explanation?
you let me speak? Son,
What? Yeah, give me the
let me
explanation.
speak.
Answer the goddamn question.
Yeah, so let me speak. Are you gonna let me speak? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Are you gonna
Hashimoto.
explain
Shut
how
up.
I explain the
Anyways.
contradiction?
Oh, well, if you want me to let me explain, then you actually have to let me
Okay, so
the words
let's
out of
hear
my
what my
mouth.
explanation was. Go for it.
Yeah, okay, so do you agree that anything with first order properties are going to exist
That's
if and
not
until
my
there'll be a
explanation. Want to
contradiction?
try again? Don't
No,
ask me a question.
let me
Give me what the
finish. If you
explanation
want
was.
actually, if you
I
want
asked you
actual
what was my
explanation, if
explanation
you want
for the
actual
contradiction,
explanation, you
and now
actually
you're
have to listen
dodging
to the
the question to
explanation.
ask me a
If you
question.
want
I'm gonna
actual
re-ask
explanation,
the
you have
question.
to see you're
What was my
nervous. You're
explanation for why this
nervous. You're
contradictory?
nervous. So you're nervous. Are you gonna let me finish? You're
Retard.
nervous.
What was the
You're
explanation?
nervous
Don't
and your
ask me a
argument's
question. Answer
getting
my
defeated.
question.
So are you gonna answer
What
the
was the
question?
explanation? He's
You're
dodging.
nervous. You're
He's
nervous.
dodging. He's dodging by
You're
asking
nervous.
me a
You're completely
question.
nervous. You're
The derail
completely
donkey want to
nervous.
go
So are
off
you
the
gonna let me
point and
finish?
not answer my
Obviously,
question
if you're
because he doesn't
asking
know
for an
the answer.
explanation, you want me to
What
actually answer the
was the
question. So you have to
explanation?
let me finish the
What
answer.
was the
You have to
explanation?
let me finish the
Don't ask me a
answer,
question.
right?
What was the
Right?
explanation?
So you're nervous for me
What
to
was
actually
the
give you an answer,
explanation for
right?
this
Correct?
contradictory?
Are you
Answer
actually
the
nervous?
goddamn
You want me to
question.
finish or do you want me to finish? Do you
Answer
want me
the
to finish or
question.
not finish?
Answer the
If
question.
you want
Don't
me to
ask
answer
me a
the
question.
question, you have to
Answer my
actually let me
question.
finish,
What
right?
was the
Correct? Yes or
explanation for
no?
this
Do you want me to
contradictory?
Yo,
finish the
Ennis, why are
question?
you
What
asking
was
Do
the
you want me to
questions?
finish
explanation? Getting
answering
your
yes or
back
no?
blown out in
Guys,
this
Do you want me
conversation?
to
guys,
finish or
What
not?
was the
You're
explanation?
losing because
calm
you obviously
down,
showed a
What
calm down.
was
contradiction in
the
your own argument,
explanation?
and you're now you're getting
Son,
angry because you don't know how to defend the
son,
argument
tell
and show
me
that
what
it's
the
got
The
explanation was.
defeated.
moderator.
You want me
Listen
to
to the
answer?
moderator. Listen
It
to the
got completely
moderation.
defeated, and you
Stop.
actually you showed how you're so calm.
Alexander, stop talking. Stop talking. Listen to the moderator here, okay? Apollo, go pray, come back, tell us when you're ready, and we'll have our cross examination, okay? That's it. Everybody take a break. Calm down, guys. Calm down.
You got that, Shanks.
Yo, that wasn't even an argument. It was just a screaming match. What are we doing here?
Y'all are both full.
I had a brain tumor listening to this, bro.
I lost like 1,000 brain cells listening to this.
Alexander's a low tier, by the way. Garbage ass nigga.
How was Venice calling anybody low tier?
I'm the goat, nigga.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm back with
obviously
some
he saw his argument leading to a contradiction and realized that he doesn't want to actually answer the question and starts as soon as he starts to realize.
Stay muzzled, nigga. Shut up.
Holy
Moderator,
man.
whoa, whoa. Unmute him.
Honest?
Oh my god, that was completely sad.
Wait, let Faint and
Unmute him.
Apollo
Oh, I'm
debate, not
impressed.
Alexander.
Law,
Alexander's a
no,
low
not
tier.
Faints, bro. What's up, jihadist?
Yo,
Wait,
let
I just
Faint
Let
came
go.
to
Faint
say,
debate.
I just
So,
calmed down.
so
I
what
came
happened
to
was,
say
That
what
was a
hi.
happened was, you
complete
asked me a
blunder on his
question.
part.
You
That
asked
was a
me specifically
complete
if I my
embarrassment.
position is that it is
Bill wanted me
contradictory.
to answer the
I asked
question,
you
but
to
won't let me
repeat back
finish
to me the
answering the question.
explanation.
This is a
Are you going to
completely
tell me the
blunder.
explanation was?
This dude is a complete clown. Yeah, he wants me
What's
to
the
answer a
explanation?
question, but won't let me
My
finish answering the
son,
question. He's gonna cut me
what
off
was the
because he realized that
explanation?
he's gonna actually get
What
embarrassed by
was
his.
the explanation?
He doesn't
Don't
want an
dodge
actual
my
answer. He just
question
wants
by
to
asking
simply
me a
ask
question.
that question that he wants to. He doesn't
Answer
actually
the
want to. He
question,
doesn't want to
son.
answer the question because if he wanted to answer the question, he would actually let me finish answering
Answer
the
the
question without
question. What was
interrupting
my
me.
explanation?
Okay, so are you gonna let me finish?
What was my
All right. So,
explanation?
anyways, so your argument is simply saying that things that have first order properties are going to mean that the thing actually
Don't
exists,
tell
and
me
there
what
would
my
be a
argument is
contradiction
saying, you
for.
dumb fuck. Tell me what
Oh
the
my
explanation was for
god!
this
Are you gonna
contradictory
stop
for there to
interrupting
be
me?
two
You're
limiting beings.
nervous. I can tell you're nervous. I
What
can tell you're
was
nervous.
the
So let me actually
explanation?
finish. You don't
Son,
actually want explanation.
what was the
You don't
explanation?
actually want explanation because you
That's
want
the first
to
dodge.
interrupt me when I'm
Let's see
trying
if
to
on
give
the second
explanation.
try he might answer
What a
the question.
complete
What
embarrassment
was
on
the
his part.
explanation?
A
That's the second
complete embarrassment on
deflection
your
from the
part.
low tier.
Well, if you actually
Let's
want
see if on
explanation,
the
you actually
third
let me
try he
finish
might answer the
explaining.
question. What was the explanation?
So let me answer. Okay, so obviously you don't understand
That's
it,
the
but when you say
fourth
that a
deflection from
first
the low
order
tier.
property is going to
Let's see if on the
automatically
fifth try he
mean,
might
for
answer the question.
example, that something that's going to have some
What
sort of
was my
contradictory
explanation for this
properties in front of its
contradictory?
existence is going to mean that it's going to actually exist.
That's
It's going to defeat your
that's the
argument because
fifth
obviously if you're going to
dodge
say
from the
that that's
loacher.
going to
Let's see
apply
if
in
on the
all
sixth
fucking
try he might
stances,
answer the
that's going
question.
to mean that,
What was
for
the
example, God
explanation
A
for
and
this
God B would
contradictory
always
loacher
exist
scumbag?
because
That's the sixth deflection from the loacher. Let's see if on this.
Guys, okay, Apollo. How about we just leave Apollo and let him pray? Just let him pray, bro.
Yo, make it Faint versus Apollo, bro. Alexander's a low
I'm
tier.
not debating. I'm playing a game, and I'm here to listen.
No, please debate Faint. You're a low tier.
Bro,
Yeah.
Venice, you're my son.
You came out of my ball sack, bro.
Venice, you want Apollo to debate the
Anyways,
same
what's
guy
up,
that said
GG?
Prophet
What's up,
Muhammad got
GG?
shot by aliens? Bro, come on.
Hold up, shut
Wait,
up.
I
I
never
want
even
to shut
said
up.
that,
Go
by the
Faint
way.
is talking. Get you?
What's up, Gigi?
What up?
I just want to say
What
what's
up?
good, man.
Oh, what's up? I'm just hearing.
Wait, who's winning the debate though?
Gotta be honest. I'm eating McDonald's fries and just watching.
I'll be honest, they both lost the debate.
Nigga, what,
The debate
bro?
hasn't even.
Maybe
The debate-
we can test Scuba Steve to know that he's competent enough to make a like a judgment, right? So Scuba Steve, can you name like one meta theoretical virtue?
No.
Okay, yeah, then I'm not taking your opinion. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I mean-
thank you. Take care.
The discussion hasn't really ended. So
What's
Yeah,
a what's a
I think
matter of
Once the ball
theoretical
gets back on track.
virtue? What does that have to do with anything? Someone tell me.
Yeah, so meta theoretical virtues would just be theoretical virtues in the systems that you want to accept. So maybe you like infantary logic because infantary logic has the ability to express and satisfy more formulas than non-infantary logics, right?
You know, my boy uses big words so he can sound smart. That's cute.
Yup, you're right.
I'm gonna say this: McDonald's fries in the Middle East like tops McDonald's fries in the U.S. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you guys.
You're lying, bro. You're lying, bro.
Wait, Gigi, where you
No.
at right now?
Jeddah.
I literally don't know where that is. Oh, is that in Saudi?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
it's like the LA of Saudi.
No, word.
Oh, damn, man. Sorry that everyone's like witnessing my fat assery, but they're damn good.
Are you
fries.
in Saudi for a reason or not?
Yeah, I mean, I live here. I'd hope so.
On God? I thought you lived in the U.S.
No, I was born in the U.S. I have a house in the U.S. I go to the U.S. a lot, but I'm here now.
Oh, I thought you lived in the U.S. Did you study in the U.S. or not?
Yeah. I was born and I studied in
Okay.
the U.S. I have a U.S. citizenship. If that's what you're asking.
Okay, word.
Tell me when Apollo's back from Prague, so we can get back because I'm really interested in
Waiting for his brother, I think he said.
Okay, guys, I'll unmute both of you because I don't like mutes. But please don't yap about the conversation until you
The issue.
No,
Yeah.
don't.
That's
Just let him,
what's
let
bro.
him
If you
finish prayer
unmute
first.
either one of them, they're just gonna give like they're just gonna like call the other person like a retard and like try to
Oh my god,
explain
bro,
their
Paul's a
position,
fucking ugly
and
nigger.
they're
Who
just gonna
cares?
stay on the meta, bro. They'll just stay on the meta, bro.
Who just spoke? Hold up, fam. Who just said that? Tag him.
That was Venice. That was Venice.
Wallahi, that was not
Sly
me.
Fox. It was Sly Fox. Okay.
Yeah, that was Venice, bro. That was Venice.
Sly Fox. Timeout.
I'm out Apollo too because he's a LARP.
I just got here.
Oh, here's the guy we're talking about.
Time out Apollo. I think he's a LARP.
Apollo's not a LARP. Stop.
He's
You'd
a
get
LARP,
cooked by Apollo, nigga. Who are you?
Who am I?
Hey, who's
It's actually a
speaking?
good question. Who is this person?
That's Ginger. If you couldn't tell, guys.
Oh, Xavier. Yo, I'll be here.
Hi. You at the hospital, jihadist?
I got out of the hospital just to get McDonald's fries, and now I'm driving back.
They let you
Bro,
drive the. They let you.
is it
They
true?
discharge you
Discord,
like
man.
that?
Got to give them a reason to keep me in there, can I?
Oh yeah.
McDonald's are geniuses for using beef tallow.
Bro, you said you're gonna unmute them, bro.
Okay, fine, but
No,
guys, please don't make an
don't.
insult.
He's starting prayer right now.
I mean,
Okay,
them
so you're
being
starting prayer? Oh,
unmuted. Like Alexander's not praying. Are we just doing to like keep it fair? Because Alexander said he wouldn't talk about the conversation.
Yo, Alexander, how does it feel to lose?
Okay, fine.
Bro, Apollo was cooking him, bro.
Dude,
Let me
Apollo's
unmute
a
both of
LARP,
them.
dude.
I'll unmute both of them.
Okay.
Yo, Faye, I have a question, bro.
Unmute.
Who the
Yeah,
hell
what's
are
up?
Kotor Tabinski?
No,
Wait,
it's for
where did
Frank.
Apollo go?
That's not me talking. It's not me.
Yeah, and where's Alexander?
I don't want to be associated with this question that you're gonna ask. I'm afraid.
Bro, I swear to God, where are they?
They just
Where did
left.
they go?
You got timed out. You got timed
Oh
out.
no, Alexander got himself kicked out of the server for spamming in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think Apollo is.
Yo,
What about
yo.
Apollo went to pray?
So is it alright if I show why his position will lead to a contradiction? I'm not gonna talk about
Wait
specifically.
until he comes back, nigga.
No.
I can't, dude. Let me. It's about the argument. It's
He's
not
not
about him.
here.
It's not
He's
about
not
him.
Oh,
here.
wait, Alexander,
He's not here.
why don't you just formalize the argument while
Yeah, I'll
he's
formalize why.
praying?
Yeah, I'll formalize. I'll
And
formalize it. It
just
literally. He
formalize
even
it,
conceded
and
it
then
leads
when
to
he comes
contradiction.
back, and when he comes
Yeah, I'll formalize.
back,
I'll formalize
just
it.
post the argument. Just post the argument.
Yeah,
when he comes
I'll show
back
why his
and
position leads to a
ask him.
contradiction. Give me a second.
Just formalize that real quick. There's no reason to like talk about it because I don't know, it's just meta. It's boring.
Dude, why did you guys let him run, bro? He was so. Oh my god. You realize that
He's
he.
gonna come
Oh my
back.
god.
He's gonna come back.
He's gonna come back. It's just prayer.
Bro, he
It
went to
doesn't
pray.
take long. It takes like 15 minutes.
Did Apollo retake his shahada after yesterday?
Bro, he went to pray, and we're gonna pray on your funeral, bro. When he comes
Did
back.
Bro,
Apollo what?
at some point, I was listening. I was just eating McDonald's fries, and I was supposed to like switch. I'm so glad like there was another staff member that came in clutch. My fingers are like covered in McDonald's fry oil.
Yeah, we get it, bro. McDonald's fries, we get it. You love McDonald's.
Yeah, I love
Mhm.
McDonald's as well. What's
Damn
wrong with
straight. From McDonald's. Got a problem with McDonald's?
I can't lie, there's
you see
nothing
this?
better than McDonald's, bro. I've been to other F&Bs, you know. The best is McDonald's. Alhamdulillah, bro.
Yo, Burger
At least
King is better. What's the argument? What's the argument?
Yo, Ahmed, this guy's cooking you in side chat. You're a bum. You're gonna take that from this little kid in side chat.
Is this Ginger?
Ginger,
Nah,
that
that
nigga
nigga's like 5'5". I met him in real life. I can stomp on this nigga, bro.
Mr. H. He's saying you're
Now I'm eating
looser.
McDonald's.
What is he saying you're looser then?
Now I'm eating McDonald's apple pie.
Bro, are you really that loose?
Oh,
Ahmed,
apple
be honest.
pie.
What is wrong with you, bro? Yo, how many mic up, bro?
Bro, I can't find my phone. Well, I'm about to.
Yo, Jihad, somebody's calling you daddy in the side chat.
Inna lillah.
Who said that?
Also, by the way, after I'm done cooking and like this on his stupid arguments, I'm gonna actually. So this dude named Venice, who's that? Who's Venice, by the way?
Venice is a low tier.
The GOAT.
Yeah, Venice. Do you want to have a discussion over the arguments, or do you want to have your own arguments?
Fuck no,
Yeah,
nigga.
Do you think
I
that?
wanna see Venice.
Yeah, obviously you wouldn't want to defend such a shitty argument.
No. I don't know the argument. I'm not even tracking well, but I can tell you're a low tier, nigga. I baked you last time.
When did you ever bake me?
I baked you.
Hey,
I baked
yo,
you on
Alex,
scripture.
Yo, this is like
Yeah, what
black
scripture?
people fighting.
I baked you.
Give the
I baked
verse.
you on
What verse?
scripture proving the Quran is historically
What verse?
miraculous.
What?
It's about ancient Egypt, but I baked you on that, nigga. Everyone baked you on that.
Oh yeah, the one where you lost and muted me, and then every time I would join the
I'm
call
not
with
even
you,
mod.
mute me,
I'm
and
not
you
even
get
mod.
terrified by
I'm
me.
not even mod.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not even
one.
mod.
You're talking about that discussion.
I'm not even mod. I'm not
Where you
even
would,
mod.
every time I would join the
Never
call, and
even-
still
I
you
never
would be
even
like,
muted
"Yo,
you.
please mute this guy,
You're
please
never
mute this guy." Oh my god,
Everyone
my
is my
father
witness.
has joined the call.
Why are you
Yeah, that
manifesting?
one. Is that what
Why
you're
are you
talking about?
manifesting? Why are you
Yo, I'm not
manifesting?
gonna lie. The wait,
Yeah, Venice
Alexander,
looks
I
terrible
remember.
right
I'm
now.
just
I'm
trying to
not gonna
reminisce
lie.
if that's the argument you're talking about.
Wait,
The
wait,
one
wait.
where you tried to like switch the burden of proof and then completely failed, and then once you realized it wasn't
What are
going
you
to work, you
talking about? What are
started.
you talking
Oh
about?
my
What are you
god!
talking about?
Oh my god! I'm not.
Hey, what's your
Mute this
argument?
guy!
Wait,
Mute this guy, please! My argument.
reset
My
mine to
phone is
argument.
beating me
Reset mine to
up. Beating me
argument.
up.
Guys,
Reset
can we
mine to
not
Wait,
make
wait,
like
wait.
weird voices
Alexander,
while
wait,
I'm
But
wait,
eating
anyways,
guys.
do you want
car
me
because
to
everyone else around me can hear?
you want me to steal me a shitty
Yeah,
argument that you made the other day?
Still my argument. What I said to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So your argument is that there's some sort of thing expressed within the Quran, for example, that has some sort of words that allude to something that would have been written about previously. Obviously, you don't understand the context of the thing that was written about.
Because you're
But
retarded.
you think that would be a prediction, or that would be some sort of knowledge that, oh my god, how could the Quran have known this? It was like some shitty arguments or something like that. I don't even know how you like mentally think that's actually some sort of like a valid argument.
Are you denying that the Quran could have known about future events? Because I can show you about one that you can't dispute. If you go to the beginning
Yeah,
of
I
Surah
deny that
Rum,
it
wait,
knew future
if
events,
you go to the
obviously,
beginning of
if I
Surah
don't believe it.
Rum, what does the Quran predict? Can you tell me? Because if you're trying to say that this
Yeah, I haven't read the
argument
Quran,
is
so just
bad,
give the verse and
if you're trying to say this
I'll see.
argument is bad, then you're basically illiterate in history. So what's the Quran?
All right, go ahead. So give the argument. Just give the premises or give the verses, and then show
okay, so
and then defend it.
you can go to Surah Rum. You can go to Surah Rum, the beginning of Surah Rum, right? Says ألف لام ميم غلبت الروم في أدنى الأرض وهم بعد
Wow, this is just gonna start a debate within a debate, and when Apollo comes back, Alexander is gonna be focused on the other debate. So let's just not do that.
No, because this guy is trying to. This guy is trying to.
Listen. The argument's going to be bad anyway, so just let him embarrass himself. What's the argument? Give the argument.
This is just
Yo, Alexander, you're not using this as a scapegoat, bro. You're debating Apollo when he comes back.
Wait, by the way,
why would I be the one escaping if he's the one that left the call? Are you fucking retarded?
He's coming back,
He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back.
Guys, just chill, bro. He's gonna come back. But listen, Alexander, weren't you the guy that when I asked him prove that you exist and you said, I think therefore I am?
I didn't say that. What?
Wallahi, you did, bro.
Yeah, you have schizophrenia. You're generally fucking retarded. The dude that you were talking about was another person in the call who said that. Are you fucking retarded? There was another person in the call who spoke over me, and you thought that was me. You fucking retarded, schizophrenic idiot. Are you fucking retarded?
What is this language?
I have a question for Faint.
He has a question for Faint.
Wait, Faint, do you believe in aliens?
Yo!
When you say aliens, do you just mean?
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah,
do you think,
it depends on
do
what
you
you
think
mean by
that,
aliens.
Wait, do you think the aliens shot Prophet Muhammad in the head with
I never even said that. Wait, I never even, just to clarify, this is like how bad you are at tracking the argument.
Yeah.
He said there's only 2 possible scenarios, and I
No, he
gave a
said 4,
third
not
possible.
2, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And then I gave a 5th possible scenario. The scenario was likely. Yeah, they could. Yeah, they obviously could exist. Wait, can you tell me what's the issue with that view? Wait, which one has a higher prior probability? Wait, which one has a higher prior probability?
I'm not gonna discuss with you, bro. You believe
Wait,
in
answer the question. Why are you dodging the question? Which one has a higher prior probability? Why are you dodging? Wait, which one has a higher prior probability? Wait, maybe you can answer the question instead of dodging. Which one has a higher? Wait, maybe you can answer the question instead of dodging like a low tier coward. Low tier coward, right? Maybe you can tell me which one has a higher prior probability.
This guy, bro.
Believed in it. I just said that's a likely.
How
Are you
much?
gonna track?
How much money do you make per month?
He makes none, bro.
How much money do you make per month?
By the way, Alexander, run away, bro.
You never ask a man about his money. Stop pocket watching.
No, you do.
Look, some of you guys maybe making
Colonel,
money,
can you stop,
but nobody here is making sense.
Yo, Alexander, run away, bro.
Yo, this guy is saying time is
What do
not
you think,
physical,
bro?
bro.
Faint is such a low tier.
Wait, this guy is saying. This guy is saying.
Faint is higher tier than Ariana. How is your list?
Bro,
Faint is my
what's
son,
the
bro.
tier list? Like, what's the tier ranking?
The
How do I know
tier,
what tier
okay,
someone
so
is?
S tier is gonna be like Vienna, S tier is gonna be like Vienna, Faint, Gadfly,
Venice.
Wait, what tier
Venice.
would you put
Venice
someone
is
who
going.
doesn't know?
He's not. No, Venice.
Where did
is like,
Vienna
what
and
if
Faint
someone-
debate?
Venice couldn't even refute the Islamic dilemma, by the way.
Yes, I guess
Venice, by the way,
Dilemma, bro, come on, you're joking.
Venice
Wallahi,
responds to my like.
You couldn't refute the Islamic dilemma?
Wallahi, I did.
Oh,
I
no, even I could do that, and I don't know what a metaphysical.
Oh my
virtue is.
God,
Wallah, Venice's response to my like devil's advocate of the Trinity was to start talking about textual criticism.
Look.
You're a retard, of course. You're a retard.
This guy called Kota. This guy called Kota Blinsky is a fraud.
Bro, why did Alexander run away after I mentioned
I
I
don't
think
know.
therefore I am?
Maybe he got something. You never know.
You know anybody who
This guy,
devils.
couldn't prove that he
You know
exists, bro.
anybody who devils
You
advocate.
know who's such a low tier? Faint. He only works with possibilities. Like, oh my God, he was talking with Ismail.
What is it?
Yeah, and he just always you say something.
Wait.
The possibility of God happening, the possibility of Muhammad being shot by aliens with a weapon. I'm like, what do you mean, bro?
Jakes, you're so funny.
Just some people just asking easy questions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Apollo ran away, bro, and Alexander left.
I get why.
Apollo is praying, bro.
Yeah, praying what,
Bro,
bro? You
Alexander's
said
a
in
Luther.
Hey, Maghreb,
Oh,
أخي.
bro, praying
He's
Tarawih,
praying
bro. There's
Maghrib.
no
I've
way.
never
He
seen
pray
so many
Makra, bro.
He
being
said
prayed
Maghreb.
for.
I don't know his time zone, bro. I don't know where he is, but he
You
said
know,
Maghreb, and he's
you know,
If he
one
lives in the
pattern.
U.S., the earliest prayer that he or the latest prayer
Right?
he'll be praying is Maghrib.
Do you know one
Latest.
pattern? Do you know one pattern among those who do philosophy? They don't pray.
Wallahi,
You
yani,
can't
brother, I don't want to
generalize.
doubt him, yani, but he
Can
said
you
he
say
wants to
Nigga,
Wallah?
pray.
you do
Wait.
philosophy.
Can
Nigga,
you
you
say
do
Wallah
philosophy.
Apollo holds to divine
Hey,
simplicity?
what is divine simplicity? What's that mean?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that's simple.
What type of
divine.
XXXTentacion ask question is that?
What kind of laugh is that, bro?
Yo, Apollo is back. Unmute him.
Yeah.
Yo, Apollo heard that.
Back and you were doubting him, bro. Come on.
Where's Alexander? The runner, the hot.
He's unmuted. He's unmuted. He's unmuted. He just has to unmute himself.
Wait,
Assalamu
what
alaikum.
is
Tag.
divine simplicity? What's it mean?
Bro,
Oh my
it's
god, bro!
just some.
What? Dude, what
Oh
type
my
of
god.
XXXTentacion ask
Get up.
question is that? What is divine simplicity? Yeah, what is that?
Well, it
Bro,
depends on how you
stop.
define divine simplicity. If you're just taking that to be that God does not have composition, then yes. I'm
Yo,
not hold to
Gigi, somebody
absolute divine
said
simplicity.
God.
I don't like hold to absolute divine simplicity. I don't think that's
Do
something
you
that
affirm
is.
real attributes for God?
Yeah, I don't think the attributes of God is identical to existence. I don't think he's
Okay, do you believe
there's
that God is a being with
Do you believe the
attributes?
attributes of God are distinct from one another?
yeah, I think they're distinct.
Okay,
All
you
right,
just
good.
negated divine simplicity.
Good.
You just negated divine simplicity.
Do you
God,
believe
guys,
Well,
God
it
guys.
exists?
depends on the type of divine simplicity. I've
No,
negated the
wait,
absolute
Apollo.
version.
What are the core
Can you
concepts
give me
about
a
the
type
other,
of divine simplicity that doesn't maintain transitivity between every
The type like
individual entity
Plotinus'
of God?
type retard. Plotinus. Have you read the Aeneas?
Plotinus?
Do you
Plotinus
know
is
Okay,
not
Plotinus?
maintains transitivity between any
Plotinus is the
individual
first
attribute of God as a
Neoplatonist.
subject of God.
How do
wait,
you know
Wait,
divine
wait.
simplicity and not know Plotinus, you idiot?
What?
He's
Who
wait,
the
even
Apollo,
first
said he was
wait,
Neoplatonist
named
to even exist.
Plotinus? Wait,
Cooked,
wait.
cooked.
Who even said I?
I
Wait,
said
wait. Why are
Plotinus.
you?
You don't know who
That's
Plotinus is?
I just.
Are you retarded?
What does that have to?
I can't believe you don't know who
You
Plotinus
asked
is,
me to
Ginger. You
give
messed up.
you asked me to give you the kind of divine
Wallah, you're
simplicity
sped.
which
Wallah,
is
you're
not
sped.
identical to ADS. I just gave you one type from
Okay, Wallah,
the
you're
most
sped.
famous Neoplatonist of all
Wallah, you're
time.
sped. Can you get? Hold on. Can you give me like a
You're
representation?
stuttering. What's going on, Tim Champ? Are you okay?
That's not. That's not.
What's going on? Are you
Damn.
competent?
wait,
Are you
Apollo.
incompetent? You try to press me on my view and try to act as if I'm LARP, and then when it gets educated on the freaking topic, you're trying to be like, oh, but you're spurred, you're spurred. Yeah,
Give me
keep
the
on crying,
logical
bitch boy. Now
regimentation.
tell me,
Oh my god,
in
bro.
objection to what I just said.
Give me the regimentation of
Stop
Plotinus.
stumbling. Take your time, kid. Take your
Nobody's
time, son. I
stumbling.
believe in
When
you.
did I? Do you know what a stutter
Son, I
is?
believe in you. Son,
Do you
I
know what?
believe in you.
Do you know what a stutter is?
Yes, you just stuttered.
Okay, I didn't
Repeating
stutter.
sounds and
Can you define
mispronouncing
it?
words
Can you define what a stutter
would
is?
in fact be a type of stutter. What are you talking about, dude?
Wait. When did I repeat the sounds? Can you tell me when I repeated the sounds?
You want me to define the word stutter for you, retard?
No, but I mean, obviously you
Oh
don't know.
my
You didn't,
god,
you
bro. What
didn't
is
use
this
stutter.
turning
This
into?
guy should go into a meta dialogue because he got schooled on the original topic on divine simplicity. Isn't that
Okay,
so
new
crazy?
debate, new
You like
debate,
completely
new
strong
debate
arming. You
opponent.
assumed I didn't know what
Old,
Plotinus.
old world is jumping into the
You
ring now.
thought you're trying to insinuate that you could not have, or there's not a position which is a divine simplicity type position, which would actually include the negation of or rather, it would not include the negation of distinctions. I'm telling you that they are
What
in
about
fact
actus
types of
purus?
they
What about
are in
actus
fact
purus?
Actus purus doesn't maintain.
stop talking over me. My son, my seed, stop talking. I'm telling you that there are
Show me the
types of divine
regimentation of
simplicity.
Plotinus' divine simplicity.
Son, son,
Show
stop
me the
talking.
regimentation of divine.
I'm
Go ahead, show
telling
me.
you, I'm telling you that there are types of divine simplicity,
Why do you
which
say?
would in fact involve the negation
Okay,
of
show
believing
me
that
Plotinus' divine simplicity. So show me the
these.
regimentation.
Hold on, stop talking. You're running. You're deflecting.
I'm
You
not
want to run
running. I'm
away from the
asking you
question.
to.
You're
Bro,
panicking. You're
I'm
panicking.
asking
Quite
you to show
frankly,
me. I'm asking you to show me. Like, give me the
I
reference.
just did. I just gave you the reference. You
You didn't
imbecile
give me the
goblin. What are you
reference.
talking
You tell.
about?
what is
That's
with
not a
Yeah,
reference.
Track,
let me guess. It's the Stanford
track.
Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
Yeah, it's not a reference.
Plotinus.
You saying Plotinus is not a
Plotinus
reference.
believes in
That wouldn't
divine
be accepted in any
simplicity,
academic.
and he also believes in a similar position that I do. However, the only distinction is that Plotinus believes that God is ineffable in a complete sense, and he believes in the most extreme version of apophatic theology. That's the only distinction between my position and
Ah, yes, the
Plotinus'
only
position.
distinction. As if that's
wait,
a very
what
small
about pure
distinction,
actuality?
right?
We believe in
That's a
pure
very
Wait,
small
actuality.
distinction.
Plotinus is
Plotinus does not
Neoplatonist,
make
right?
any claim on whether or not God is pure actuality, so that's another blunder.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not making blunders. I'm just
Who are these
asking.
like
What's wrong
LARPers?
with
These like
No,
Muslims
no,
trying to
what's wrong
press
with this
me.
guy?
that
You guys
wasn't.
are not
Wait, that
on my
This
wasn't.
level.
guy
You
is
guys
That's
don't
so
know
like.
what you
right
guys are
already.
Wait,
talking
can you
about.
show me Plotinus's regimentation of divine simplicity? Like, go ahead and find it for me.
The Aeneid. I just gave you the book, you retard. The Aeneids, read it.
No,
You
give
can
it
read
to
the
me.
Wait,
first volume. There are
Okay, give me
7
the
of them.
reference.
Yeah, Ginger, he
I
gave
just
you the
gave you the
reference.
reference. I
The
gave you the book,
reference
you
is a
retard. You
300-page
want me to
book,
go on the book
Ginger. Go
and
read it
give you a
Yeah,
yourself.
nice,
screenshot of the
nice.
page?
So
I
clearly you're
gave
not
you
in
the book.
Yeah,
academia.
yeah.
That's a
Look,
So
look.
reference.
clearly,
I gave you the book.
clear,
That's a reference.
As
I
he
clearly
gave
you're
said,
you
not
the
a.
book.
So
That's a
clearly you're not
reference.
an
Go read the
academic,
book, you
right? Because in
goddamn
wait, wait.
imbecile.
As
academia,
this
you
Go
would
guy,
know
read
that
the
citing a
book.
as
book.
this
You
guy.
Somali piece of trash. Go read the book, you
Yo, why
Why
are
are
retard.
you
you
calling me
I gave you
insulting
the
Somali?
Wait,
reference.
wait,
I
Somalis,
wait.
gave you
bro?
the
Why are you
philosopher,
insulting? You
and I
dumb,
gave you
Wait,
the
why
bro.
are
reference.
you a
Wait,
LARP? Why are you a
You're
LARP? You don't
insulting
even know
Somalis in
Plotinus is
general.
beyond
why are you
divine
insulting
What is wrong
simplicity.
with
Somali?
this dumbass, bro? Why are you insulting
Look,
Somalis, bro?
Apollo,
How
can you
does that
provide
go
us
to the
with a
claim
specific
for you to insult
reference?
Somalis?
Can you provide us with the
Absolute
specific
retard,
reference?
bro. Absolute retard, wallah.
Yo, Apollo, I have a question, bro. Where's Allah?
He
موجود
really
بلا
doesn't know
مكان
where.
for him.
But Ginger, he already gave you the reference. Go ahead and read the 300-page
Yeah,
book,
let
bro.
me
That's
just
your
go
job.
fucking. Let me just open up the book and read through the entire book real quick, on it, because that's
Yeah.
that's a proper academic citation.
Discord philosophers, when they're asked to provide a reference, go read the 300
I
page book.
gave you a reference. I gave you the book. That's a reference. What do you think a reference
Yeah, it's
is?
not a sufficient reference in academia.
What do you think a reference
I
is?
want you to
Define the
hold
word
on.
reference for us,
I want you.
retard.
I want you.
Define
Here,
the
this is
word
how I know.
reference. Go.
This is
Go.
how I
Define the
know. This is
word.
how I know you're non
Define
from
the word.
education.
Oh,
This is
no,
how I
he's
know you're non
dodging.
from education.
Define the word reference.
This is
Define
how
the word
you. This is how I
reference.
know you're non from
Define the
education.
word reference. Stop dodging the
Yeah, that
goddamn
wouldn't be a
define it.
sufficient. That wouldn't be a
Define it.
sufficient
Define
reference.
it.
That
Prove
wouldn't
that
meet the
claim. Define
sufficient
the word
criteria.
reference. Prove
That
that
wouldn't be a.
claim. Prove that
I.
claim.
You are Apollo. You just
Prove that
That wouldn't be
claim.
sufficient.
we want to hear. We want to hear
Repeating the
video.
claim that it is not sufficient
Oh
does
my god.
not prove the claim that it is not sufficient. Prove your goddamn claim, you
I
imbecile.
wouldn't,
Prove it.
because it's not specific enough. Like it
Prove the
wouldn't.
claim. Stop repeating yourself, you retard. Prove the
So
claim.
why are you shouting at
Okay,
him? Why are you
go
shouting?
look at the MLA and APA citation standards.
Prove the
You can
claim that it is
go
not
look at.
sufficient.
Go look
Stop
at.
trying to
Okay,
rhetorically
okay, okay.
grandstand. Stop trying
Here's
to
my
tone
claim. Here's my
police.
claim.
Yo,
I don't
Apollo, can you
disrespect
Here's
shut
you,
the
my.
dude.
fuck
Here's
up
my.
and let
I
us
don't
Okay,
care
hear
about
okay,
you,
okay.
bro?
Here's
insulting me.
my
I don't care
claim.
about
Here's my
insulting
claim.
Mama, dude. I don't
Go look
respect
at.
Yo,
you. I don't know
Apollo,
you.
can you
There
shut
are
the
only a
Go
fuck
few.
up and
There are
let
only
us
a
okay.
hear
couple
it,
of
Here's
bro?
Muslims I know on
okay.
the server,
Okay. Here's
and
my
those
Apollo.
Muslims I
Apollo.
respect. I don't respect you, dog. Stop
Okay.
crying about me
We
insulting.
don't
Just
care what
prove your
you
goddamn
Okay.
claim.
Okay.
Prove
Okay.
your
Here's my
claim,
claim.
dude.
I'm
Prove
proving it.
your
I'm proving it.
claim, dude.
All right.
Prove
Hold
your
on. I'm
claim. How
proving
is it
it.
insufficient?
Can I prove it?
How is
Okay.
it insufficient?
I'm gonna prove it
How
to
is
you.
it insufficient?
Okay. In academia,
And,
MLA, APA,
Apollo, can you
prove your
shut
all
the
claim.
right.
fuck up
What
and let
the
us hear him,
fuck?
bro?
What
You
the
monk
fuck?
in the background, pipe down. I know your
You
boyfriend is
absolute
getting back
retard.
shots
Let us
right now.
Are
hear
Stop
you,
you?
crying
Do
bro.
you
about
actually have a mental
What's
illness?
going
Like
on?
actually,
Why are
like,
we?
it.
Why
Are
are
you
we
mentally
trolling?
You see
insane,
this
dude?
guy? You see
I'm
this
gonna give
guy?
you.
You see this guy Apollo?
Look at the
See,
Yo,
mentally
Apollo, you
impoverished this
absolute
Apollo,
Muslim
bro,
donkey,
calm
bro.
scumbag.
down.
Let us
Calm
hear
down,
him,
buddy.
bro.
Piping
Calm
up.
down, bro.
You asked me
Muslims
to
trying to
prove
press
the.
another
You asked
Muslim
me to
because
prove.
they're
Tell me
mad
You
to
over
shut
the
asked
the
me to
fact
fuck
prove
that
up, bro.
I
exactly.
IQ clip
Calm.
your entire bloodline. You're mad
You
because I
you.
intellectually dominate you motherfuckers. Even if I'm a Muslim, you
bro,
Wait.
guys
You
are still
asked
a
me to
Jews.
We're
prove.
not
You
listening to
asked
you,
me
And
to
they're
bro.
trying
prove.
to press me about my position, about my akida, and it's looking at back shots in the conversation. Now, the
What are you
other guy
talking
who's
about?
Yo,
Have you
crying
Apollo
right
have
is
you
now,
a
actually?
who's
fake
going
nigga.
to
Why
war
does
with
he
the
keep
Imam
giving
Mahdi
you
and the
these
other guy,
factual
for the guy
references? These niggas
imposter
are
right
This guy's
now,
weird, bro. This
tell me
guy's weird.
how is it insufficient for me to reference the book?
Okay,
How is that
because
insufficient?
let's look at the academic like
Take
citation
your time.
methods.
Gain some confidence, son. Speak with
Why
your
are you
chest high,
interrupting me when
son.
I'm speaking? Why
Speak
are
with
you
your
interrupting
chest
me?
high, son. Speak with
Are
your
you
chest
actually
high.
mentally? Do you
Why are
actually
you
have
hitting
mental?
your chest, bro? What
I'm
the
giving
hell?
you confidence boost, dude. I'm trying to give you a
Okay,
confidence boost right
I'm
now.
trying to
You're
speak to you. Okay,
stumbling,
I'm gonna tell
and
you how it's
trembling and
insufficient.
fumbling over
Yo,
your goddamn
Apollo,
words.
stop
Give
being
me the
zesty and let
confidence.
the guy speak, bro. The hell?
Yeah, so
We want to hear
looking
this
at
guy.
the
You guys
major
been dodging my
citation,
question.
this major citation formats we use in academia, like Chicago, MLA, and APA, all require.
Why
like,
would that
specificity.
be the only type of reference which you can
Well,
get
let him
in a given
speak, man.
context?
Yeah,
Well,
that
you're
is
asking.
the only type of reference in academia.
So
Did you know how to
That
cite? You
what?
have it in text.
Based
You
on
know
what
how
evidence?
you have it
Why?
in text
So
citation.
hold on. When you asked me to give a reference, hold on.
Let's look
You're
at the
asking me to.
definition of reference, you
First of
retard.
all,
Hey,
Apollo.
Apollo, do you know how to do Harvard
Yeah,
in text
we're not
citation?
saying. Look. Anything could be considered a reference.
Dude,
No problem.
dude,
But
what is this,
we're talking
retard?
about.
What's this?
Oh
We're
my
talking.
god,
We're
Hold
talking.
on.
Apollo, you're pissing
You
me off
guys
right now.
are
Go
the
ahead.
most retarded, disgusting goblins of debated of this year. Check the chat, retard. Reference. Look at this. Let's read together.
Yeah.
The second
Hold on.
definition
Nobody
states
claimed.
the use of a
Look.
source of
Nobody.
information in order
Yeah.
to
So
ascertain something.
this is a
Wait,
strong.
The
Apollo,
other
Apollo.
one says to
This is a
provide a book
this is
or
a strong
article
man.
with citations of sources of information. So just providing
Apollo.
a book would be sufficient, you retard.
So
Wait,
Give it the
it wouldn't be
definition.
it wouldn't be
What are you
sufficient.
talking
It
about?
wouldn't be sufficient.
How
It
do
wouldn't
you
be
have it in
sufficient.
text
I
citation?
just gave you a reason why it wouldn't be sufficient. Look, it meets
Your
the
definition of
criteria.
a reference does not correspond with the vast majority of this
Look, it
definition.
meets the
You're just
minimum
using an
criteria to be
autistic
considered
definition of
direct.
reference
Hold
to
on.
save your way from the Buddhist bank you're getting right
No.
now.
What do you mean? What do you mean autistic? By autistic,
What do you mean?
you mean what's accepted.
Why are you
You mean
stuttering? Why are you
you mean
Apollo,
what's
stuttering?
can you
Look at
shut
the
accepted?
the
You mean what's
fuck
definition
up
I
accepted.
generally,
posted in the
bro?
chat. Look at the
Why are you doing?
definition I
You're
posted
doing
in
like
the
you're
chat.
doing like all
You
right.
Yo, can
illiterate
someone
monkey.
muzzle
You
Apollo?
illiterate
He speaks
scumbag.
too much.
Look at the definition, dude. Look at the
Apollo, stop
definition.
panicking,
What does
My
that
bro.
mean?
God, dude.
Look, you're
Stop
stop
Read the
panicking. Nobody's
goddamn
disagreeing, and
definition.
that's the
It says
definition.
provide the book.
I'm
Give
not
me the
disagreeing with the
definition.
definition.
Why are
Provide
you
the book is
I'm not
cursing?
Yo,
disagreeing
sufficient
with it.
Apollo,
Sound like
for
Apollo,
you're
there
what are
to
your
be
attacking
a
words?
me.
You're
Yo,
annoying me,
Apollo,
reference.
so
don't
please.
Come
panic and
on,
let the guy
son. I
speak, bro.
believe in you. Attack the goddamn point.
Okay, so like I said, nobody ever disagreed that it is a reference. It's just not like
Oh, you said it was not sufficient for it to be a reference. You
yeah,
retard.
Get on
That's
my
the
no,
don't say that.
yeah,
it's
Don't say
not
that.
that's
it's
Don't
a
not
say
a
that.
yeah.
contradiction,
So
you
I didn't
dumbass.
say
What
that.
are you talking about,
I said it's not
dude?
a, I said it's not a
Oh,
sufficient. What are you doing?
you said it was not sufficient. What are
Why
you
you nigga
talking
anime
about?
laughing, bro?
Look,
What?
Why are
Apollo,
you?
get
Why are
relax.
you?
Animal Lab, dude, you sound like you're 14. Your ball sacks haven't even dropped yet. Go back to freaking like Roblox
Why are
game.
Apollo,
you?
you're
Anyways, back to
anime
the other
What is
debating
this
guy.
and
arrogance,
Apollo
What are
is
Mike?
you? What are
fucking
you
Shut
talking
hilarious,
about? What are you
bro.
talking about?
up, dude. Anyways, back to the other
You
guy.
don't
You
even
said
sound
it was
you don't
not
even sound like a
sufficient.
grown man.
You
I
said that
said
what
I
I've
said it's
given was
not a
not
sufficient. Hold
sufficient for
on.
it to
I
be a
said it.
reference. Now you're agreeing it is a reference.
No. I
That's a
didn't say. I said.
contradiction.
I said it's not a sufficient reference
You
within
said
the
it was
scope
not
of the
sufficient for it to
discussion.
be a reference. Now you're agreeing
I
it's a
didn't say
reference. That's
that.
a
I didn't say
contradiction.
that. I didn't say
Concession
that.
accepted.
That's
I
a
accept your
straw
defeat.
man. That's a
I
straw man.
accept your
I didn't
defeat.
say that.
I
Wait.
accept your
I told you
concession.
it's not a sufficient reference. That's what I said, like word for word.
Wait, hold on. What does it mean for something to not be a sufficient reference, retard?
Yeah,
What
so
does
it's
that
gonna be
mean?
within the
Yeah,
scope of
that's
discussion.
what
So
means
it's gonna be
something, bro.
scope of discussion. It's gonna
Wait,
be something
Apollo.
which
Apollo. Apollo.
it's gonna be a
Apollo.
reference which
Apollo.
has enough.
Apollo,
It's
what's the
gonna be a
point?
reference
Wait,
which
wait,
has enough
Apollo.
specificity.
Can you cite something and have it in text? Do you know how to
Yep, I
have
just
it in
cited
text
something.
citation?
Literally the book.
You
Do you
He
know
didn't.
how
asked me
to have it in
which
text
type of divine
citation?
simplicity. He asked me which type of divine
Yeah.
Wait, do
simplicity.
you know how to have
Philosophy.
it in text
By
citation?
modern
Stop
academic
Do you know
talking.
how
You
standards,
to
can stop
have it in
by
trash.
text
Let me finish my
citation?
point. You know, you guys are scared.
okay.
I know you guys are
Do
So
scared
I'm
of
good.
the
you know
substance, and
So
you guys
by
are gonna run
modern
how
away.
to have it in
by
You guys are gonna
modern
run away.
academic.
Look,
do you know how
stop
to have
trying
it
on
in
the rhetoric.
text
You guys are gonna
citation?
rhetorically. You guys are
Right? Do
gonna
you know
get
how to have it
rhetorically
in text
ragdolled
citation?
right now. Stop
Do you know how
trying
to
to
have it in
rhetorically
text
dominate the
Bro,
citation?
chat.
conversation.
Wait.
I'm far more
Do you know
Can you
how
rhetorically
guys
to do
be
dominant.
have it
You
in
quiet,
guys
text
have a
bro?
citation?
small dick rhetorical aura. Stop
Do you know
trying.
how to do have
Stop
it in
trying.
text
Just pipe
citation?
down. Let me finish the point
Do you
and
know how
stop
to
trying
do
to
have it in
overtalk and
text
rhetorically
citation?
dominate the conversation.
Do you know
I
how
am
to do
pissing
have
on
it
you
in
guys
text
in right now.
citation?
So now what
Do
I'm
you know how to
telling
do
you
have it in
here,
text
simply,
citation?
what I'm saying,
Do you know
given
how
the
to do have it in
context of
text
the
citation?
conversation,
Do you know how to do have it in
context
text
of the
citation?
conversation, my
Do
son,
you know how to do have
Yo,
it
stop
in text
Apollo,
talking
can
over
you
me.
citation?
stop being a
Given the
monkey, bro?
Do you
context
know how
of
Literally,
the
to do
bro.
have it
One
in
at a
conversation,
text
you
time,
say
bro.
to
citation?
the face,
Do you know
or
how to
rather,
do have it in text citation?
he asked me,
Do you know how to do have it in text citation? Do you know how to
what
do have it
specifically
in text
divine
citation?
simplicity in
Do you know how to do have
philosophy
it in
would
text
be
citation?
something which is identical to my
Do you know how
position.
to do have it
So
in
in
text
that context,
citation?
it would
No,
be a
it's just
sufficient
Do you know how
reference,
to
you
do have
retard.
it in
it's
text
not a
citation?
sufficient reference in
What are you
this
doing?
context.
Do you know how to do have it in text citation?
Wait, is
Why
it
are
your
you
birthday?
spitting
Bro,
over your words
Apollo,
so
you
badly, dude?
monkey,
Apollo.
bro.
Pronounce
Why are
words
you such a
properly,
monkey?
dude. What the hell?
Yo, one at a time,
Stunlocked?
guys.
No
Come on. This
response?
is like on
Oh
Zoo, bro.
shit, they had to think of a response.
Do you
That
know
was a
how to
huge
do have it in
stunlock,
text
dude.
citation?
Anyways,
What is that?
Do you know how to
he
have it in
asked
text
me for
citation?
a
Do
philosophical
you know how to do have
source.
it in text
He
citation?
asked me for a philosophical
Do you
source.
know
Look
how
at the
to do
guy
have it
running.
in
He's
text
running.
citation? Do
He's
you know how
running
to
from
do
the
have it
actual
in text
point.
Yo, is
citation?
this like a
Asking
zoo,
me
bro? Like
derail
one at a time,
questions. It's not
guys.
going to
Please,
help you out right
one
now.
Yo,
at a time.
Look
Apollo,
at
is
the
it your
derailed
birthday?
donkey.
Wait,
Look at the
Apollo,
derailed
happy
donkey.
birthday,
Do you know
Look
how
at
Apollo.
the
to do
derailed
have it in
donkey.
text
Look at
citation?
the
Apollo, what's
derailed
going on
donkey
in
Do you
just
know how
side?
to
running
do
over
have it
the
Apollo,
in
what's
point.
text
going on in
The
side
citation?
chat?
derailed
Do
donkey
you know
running
how to
over
do
the
have
point.
it in
Apollo,
My
is it
text
your
God, dude.
birthday?
citation?
Apollo, is it your
Holy,
Do
birthday?
you know how to do
dude.
have it in text citation?
Holy,
Apollo,
dude.
is it your
Do
birthday
you
in
know how to
side
do
chat?
have it in text citation?
Oh, is
Apollo,
it the birthday in the
Do you
side
know how
chat?
to do have it
Was
in
the
text
birthday in the
yay,
side
it's my
chat?
Do you
birthday.
know how to do
Apollo,
Yes,
is
have
your
it in
birthday?
yes,
text
dude, it's my
citation?
birthday. What a great argument! What a great counter argument!
You have to
Yes,
have the
yes,
interpretation.
dude, it's my birthday.
You have to have the
Yes, yes, it
interpretation.
was. Is that your
Do you know
counter
how to
argument?
have the
Is that your counter
interpretation?
argument?
No.
Is
I
that your
gave you the counter
craziness
argument.
counter
Let me
argument?
give
Your
you the
counter
argument.
argument to
By
getting
mod, I
ragdolled
gave
and
you the
backshots and
argument. I
bitched in
gave
the
you the argument.
conversation is you getting
What do you
a
mean, bitch? I
post of
told
my
you.
birthday. Is
Look,
that your
I made
counter
it very
argument?
simple
Is this
for
how
you,
you
Apollo.
cope with getting
By modern
backshots, dude?
academic standards, by
Holy
modern
shit,
academic standards,
dude!
your
That's
reference
your
of just
best
the
counter
book in
argument.
and
I
of itself
explained
is
that's the
not
how it's a
specific enough.
reference,
Is not
and you guys
specific
give
enough.
a
Happy
cheap
birthday,
making the
Apollo.
link
Happy
Wait,
birthday
birthday,
dog. That's your best
Apollo.
response, dude. That's your best
Happy
response, dude.
birthday,
Bro,
Holy
happy
shit, you guys are getting sunned right
happy
now. You guys,
birthday,
you guys are embarrassing
Apollo.
as I said,
Yo,
damn it.
Apollo,
look,
yo,
You guys are
Apollo.
getting fished by
Apollo,
one
Apollo, where's
freaking
look,
guy.
Apollo?
You guys went about TikTok
Apollo, where's
within the
posting a link
Apollo?
with my
context,
birthday. Do you think that
of
was
like,
rhetorical?
Hold on.
Do you genuinely believe you're looking
Wait,
good on the Reddit right
Apollo,
now,
Yo,
unironically?
Apollo,
You
Apollo,
know
where's
all of this is
Allah?
getting recorded, right?
Yo, where's
You
Allah?
know all
Apollo,
of this
where's
is
Allah?
getting recorded, right?
Yo,
wait,
Apollo,
I
You
have
Apollo.
guys are
a
getting
wait, wait,
recorded
hold
for
on.
getting backshot by one single
Wait,
guy
Yo,
wait,
right
hold on,
now.
Apollo,
Apollo,
You
Apollo,
Apollo,
where's
understand
I
this,
have a
Allah?
right?
question for you, Apollo.
You understand this,
Apollo,
right?
I'll let you
Apollo,
speak.
Holy shit,
Apollo, I have a
dude.
question.
Apollo,
What are you
Apollo,
gonna do
where's
right
God?
now?
I have a
Apollo,
You
where's
question.
made
I
the
have a
Allah?
claim
question.
that me citing the
I have a
fucking book
question.
from a
Apollo, where's
philosopher is
Allah?
insufficient reference. That's
Apollo, where's
retarded.
Allah?
Not in
That
modern,
is
Where's
the
not in
most
Allah?
modern,
retarded
not in
assertion
modern
I've
academia.
ever heard.
Not by modern
What are you talking
academia.
about, dude?
How about
Guys,
My
it's his
God,
academic
dude.
birthday. Let him
standards? It's not
speak. It's his
sufficient.
birthday, guys. Let him speak.
Nigga
Yo,
typing in the
Apollo,
chat talking about some
Apollo.
Apollo needs to be crucified. Nigga, you
Yo,
motherfuckers
Apollo,
are getting
where's
crucified
Allah?
right now.
Yo,
Retard.
Apollo, where's
No, you're
Allah?
What are
Happy
not.
you
You
doing?
haven't
birthday,
you haven't
Apollo.
What
contended
are
with
you
the
Apollo, you
doing?
point.
need
Happy
to
Being
take a
young.
birthday,
you need
What
to
are
You
take
you
a
haven't
Apollo.
doing,
chill
dog?
pill.
contended with the
Apollo, you
point.
need to take a chill
Holy
pill.
shit, dude.
Apollo, you need to take a
Apollo,
chill pill, bro.
Apollo,
Calm
Apollo,
down.
where's God?
Calm
Bro,
down.
Yo, Apollo,
Holy
where's
shit.
God?
How is
every
it
time
going to
you
be
have
the
monster
case?
sons and
Yeah,
actually speak.
prove to me that a book from a
Yeah,
philosopher
Bro,
like I
someone
told you,
needs
it's
to
not
prove that
maintain
claim.
sufficient
this
by
guy.
modern
Prove that
academic
claim.
standards.
He's
Prove that
It's not
claim. Prove that
it's not
claim.
sufficient by
Prove that
modern academic
claim.
bro.
standards. Why?
Jihad is
Prove
Because
the claim.
condescending,
okay,
bro.
Prove that
Jihad is
claim.
so
the
disrespectful.
modern
Prove that it is
academic.
insufficient by the
I just
conventional
okay. Can you
analysis of
listen?
what determines an insufficient reference. Prove that claim. Go.
Yes. So by modern academic standards,
Jihad is delete that.
all of the
Prove that by
citation
modern
form.
academic standards,
Why are you
See
citing a
it.
interrupting my
specific
guy?
book is
Why are you
not
So
interrupting
sufficient.
my
Yo,
all
yo,
of
guy?
the
yo,
Prove that
yo,
claim.
Wait,
Apollo,
wait,
Apollo,
Prove
Apollo,
that
Apollo,
Apollo,
claim.
Apollo,
Apollo.
Apollo. Can
He
you do
can't prove
intake?
anything
Look,
if you
look,
keep on talking
you
yapping. Nigga,
slaves,
stop
you
speaking.
slaves.
Can you
I
do
want you
Harvard
guys to take
intake?
turns,
Can you
okay?
do
So
Harvard intake?
starting off with the first slave I
Can
own
you
right
do
now.
can you do
Tell me
Harvard
how it
intake?
is the case that given modern academic
Oh my
standards,
god, bro.
citing a single book from a philosopher would not be sufficient.
It
Yo,
wouldn't.
Apollo,
So
stop being a
so
monkey and let him speak. What the hell is
yes.
this?
It's not.
Any like citation format that's used in modern academia, I give you some examples like
Prove that claim. Let's
Wait,
prove
wait.
that claim.
Chicago.
Prove
Okay,
that
so
claim.
here
Harvard
okay,
intake?
here. Let me give
You
you. I'll give
Can
Somalian
you.
you
slave,
use
my
Harvard
Somalian
intake
Yo,
slave. Prove that
2018?
claim right now. Go for it.
Can you
not
use Harvard
Somali.
Why are
Why
you
intake?
not
calling
Can
me?
you
you?
You're
use
still
Brother,
calling
speak
me.
My
Harvard
I'm
for
gonna
yourself.
give it.
intake?
Somalian
Wait,
slave.
okay,
Prove that claim.
I'm
Harvard
gonna
intake.
give it to
Harvard
you. But
intake.
why?
Yeah,
But why are you
prove that
calling
in
me?
Excuse me,
any
man.
single
Jihad is
modern
fucking
academic case
useless.
scenario, a book is not a sufficient reference, retard.
It's not okay. So here, let me give you the Chicago Manual, the 17th style edition. I'm gonna give
The
you the. I'm gonna
Chicago
give.
Manual reflects
I'm gonna give you.
the universal cases
I'm
by
gonna
which you
give you.
determine the sufficiency of
I'm
references,
gonna
you
give you the
retard.
Look.
APA. I'm gonna give you
You
the
know what
APA.
the summary
Holy
Right.
here
I'm
shit,
gonna give
is.
you
The
dude.
an
summary.
APA.
You know the
I'm gonna give you
summary.
an APA. I'm gonna give you. I'm
Yo,
gonna give you
Apollo,
the
you're a
MLA.
disgusting,
I'm gonna
filthy
give you
human.
confidence so that you can stop
So I'm
stuttering,
gonna.
you dumb fuck.
So once. I'm gonna send all these to
What,
your
what's up? What's up?
DMs.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Shut
You're
up, Apollo.
jumping with four different
I'm
niggas,
just
and you're
telling you.
still losing confidence,
Who's
dude.
jumping you?
Yo,
Nobody's
Apollo, if you
jumping you.
speak one more time, you're a monkey.
Nobody's
If you
jumping you.
speak one more time, you're a
This
monkey.
guy's choking on my ball sacks right
Apollo,
now as I'm giving
listen
him
to me,
the
bro. Listen to me.
freaking
Speak one more time, you're a
the
monkey.
rhetorical dick in your throat right now, dude. You can't even speak
Apollo
properly
raises
anymore,
three low
dude. What's
tiers.
going
Go
on,
Wait,
dude?
ahead.
And
Apollo. I have
all
a
of you
question.
motherfucking
I have a
Muslims, you
question for you,
so-called
Apollo.
You are
Muslims,
a
trying to
motherfucker,
jump
bro,
in
so
from
stop
one
insulting
Muslim
me.
Wait, what do you
to
mean
dude.
Apollo, I
so-called
have a
Come the
question.
fuck out.
Muslims?
You guys should
What do you mean
post my
so-called
birthday
Muslims?
as a
Are you
reason for coping,
sectarian?
dude. And now you guys are crying in the
Yo,
side chat in
Apollo,
the
if you
freaking
speak
Apollo,
one
you're
more
right
time,
making
you're
now.
gay.
takfir
This
right now, bro.
feels
Calm down.
so
Wait,
beautiful,
Calm down. You're
dude.
Apollo,
making
you
This
takfir
feels
speak
right
one
now.
more time,
so
you're gay.
beautiful. Yeah,
Apollo, you're making
posting
takfir.
screenshots of my
You're
YouTube
making
channel
takfir right
Wait,
and
now.
I
posting
have a
screenshots
question.
of my TikTok is a great counter
Happy
argument,
birthday,
guys. Wow. We got
Wait,
Apollo.
Apollo.
intellectual
Happy
geniuses over
birthday,
here.
Apollo,
Oh
calm
my
down.
god,
Apollo.
dude.
Wait,
Oh
Apollo. I
my
have a
god,
question.
dude.
I
Happy
have
What
a
a great
question.
birthday,
argument. What a great
my
means of
friend.
coping.
Wait,
Now
I have
tell
a
me,
question for
Yo,
Apollo. I
Apollo,
have
if
a
you speak
question
one
for
more time,
Apollo.
you're gay, bro.
Apollo, I
how
have a
many
Takfir,
question.
bro.
slaves
Calm
have
down.
questions for me? How many
Apollo, I
slaves
have
If
a
is
you
it?
question.
speak
Which
one
Yo,
slave
more
want to
time,
go
Apollo,
you're
first?
gay.
why are you calling
Which
everybody
slave want to go
slave?
I have
first?
a question.
Which
I have a
slave want to
question.
go first?
Apollo,
Which
I
slave?
Apollo,
have a
Apollo,
question.
Apollo,
You
calm
I
down.
mean
have
You're
a
making
question
honest?
for you,
takfir, bro.
Apollo.
Calm down,
I have a
calm down.
question.
You made takfir. Just calm down.
Yeah, Apollo, I think I have
Holy
a question.
shit,
I have a question.
dude.
Apollo, where's Allah?
He
I
doesn't
don't
believe
think
in
Allah is
Allah, right?
okay to do.
Huh?
You
Wait,
don't
you
think
don't?
Allah is
I
okay
don't
to
think Allah
do?
has spatial
Apollo is the
location.
Jahmi. He doesn't believe Allah is located anywhere.
Apollo, you don't
Is
believe in
it
Allah,
Allah?
right?
He's right though. He's right though.
Yoki, yo, Jahmi as well, nigga. Shut up.
Bro, yeah,
Wait,
so just to be
Apollo, I
clear on
have
a
a
couple
Yo,
of things, I
Apollo, why
find
are
it
you a
just really
Jahmi?
hilarious how this guy
Apollo, why are you
told
a
me
Jahmi,
to
bro? Why are
demonstrate
you a
evidence sense for there being some other different type of divine simplicity, which should actually be identical to my position or similar to my position insofar as the
Yeah, but I
attributes point
believe
is
it
concerned. And
in
then when I
pure
gave him
acknowledgement.
You
the
didn't,
No,
you didn't give
philosopher
me you
and the
didn't give me a
book, he's
reference.
talking about how that was an insufficient
You
reference.
didn't give
This
me.
is
It's
one of the
insufficient by
biggest
modern
blunders
academic
I've ever
standard.
came across.
No, it's
Unironically, you
not.
guys might
It's
be
not
more
a
retarded than
blunder. It's not a
Alexander.
blunder
You
because
guys
I'm
might
giving.
unironically, you guys
I'm
might
upholding. Wait.
unironically
Are
be
you a
more
genuine
autistic than
interlocutor?
Alexander. This
If
is
you're a genuine
crazy, dude.
interlocutor,
bro,
no,
but
okay. Well, I'll
Thanos,
tell
you
you
believe
why.
in absolute.
I'll tell you why I believe it's insufficient. If you're a
Why do you keep
genuine
on stumbling
interlocutor,
over your words, dude?
what do
Holy,
you mean
dude.
stumbling over my words? I'm speaking clearly.
You
To
don't know
be
the word
honest with you.
stumbling means? Are you autistic? You don't know what
No,
the
I
word
said
means in the conversation?
I'm asking you what you
You
mean by
ask
it
me
because
what
I
do I
don't believe
mean
I'm
by it?
following.
You don't know the fucking phrase means, retard?
Yeah,
Are you
because
retarded?
I'm
Should I
not
have to
falling into
educate in
that.
English language just like I was educating in
No.
philosophy, retard?
That has nothing to do with this. So that
Oh
has nothing
my
to do with
god,
this.
this guy
Stutter
believes in
again.
absolute.
Holy shit, he's thinking of that comeback. He can't think of a
By the
comeback.
by the way,
You
but
motherfuckers
Thanos,
can't
he
handle
Thinking of
believed
a
in
You
comeback.
guys
What are you
can't.
talking?
You guys are
What
trying to copy
comeback?
my
I'm
flow,
speaking to
copy
you.
my
What are you talking
sunshine, copy my rhetoric. You guys cannot do it because I'm just the freaking template, dude. I'm just the fucking
but
final
Thanos, he
boss in this.
believes
You
in
guys
absolute.
can't handle the rhetoric aura.
Anyway,
Now I'm gonna tell you one more time. I'm gonna bring you guys back to the dialectical octagon, right? I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you guys again. Now tell me, the
you're
first
not
slave
doing
was
nothing,
typing
my
up.
guy.
Tell me specifically, how is it the case that that would be an insufficient reference?
It
Tell
wouldn't
me.
be by modern academic standards because modern academic citation.
Oh shit! Do
Citation
you think that given the context of the
Bro, let him
conversation,
finish,
do you
you
think the
retard.
context of the
Yeah,
Let
conversation
him
is
finish, you
confined
dumb
to your
monkey,
the
bro.
point,
so-called modern
the
academic
point.
standards,
So
retard?
yes,
Bro,
Yo,
we
yes.
Apollo,
wanna
And I'll
hear
tell you
it.
why.
Let him
Gabriel,
finish,
let him
bro. You
And
finish.
I'll tell
fucking
you why.
idiot.
I'll
I'm
tell you
gonna
why.
piss on you. You fucking retard.
You fucking retard!
And I'll tell you why.
Nah, 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 bro.
Shut up, dude. You have a speech
Wait,
impediment,
I'll,
dude.
Apollo,
I'll
Stop
tell
why
you.
you
I'll
talking,
tell
lie?
you
Are
dude.
you
why it's
You
gonna
got
even
a
more
speech
bro?
important.
impediment, you dumbass monkey. Nigga,
Apollo.
go back to the stumps of Mumbai, you
Apollo.
dirty ass
Apollo,
Indian.
how
You're
is
not
it?
gonna be
I'll
the
tell
other
you why
guy.
it's important.
Nigga,
You're
I
I'll
even
tell you
piss
trying
why
to
it's
on
pronounce the
you.
word
I piss
important.
on you. You
retard
gay
instead
fuck,
of
bro. You're
on the
not
retard.
Korean. You gay fuck. Fuck you.
Apollo, are you gay, bro? Calm
Apollo,
down.
just take
So
a
I'll tell you why.
drink some
I'll tell
water.
you why
Making
the
our religion
academic
look bad? These guys are trying to make our religion look bad by trying to jump me in the
He's
conversation.
Bro,
not.
you
You
Wait,
fucking
guys can't
retard.
even
You
come
Nobody's
off
know
jumping
insult
you.
when you guys are
Apollo,
trying to
Nobody's
press me.
jumping you.
Press
Apollo,
you
bro,
guys
just
back.
drink
Nobody.
some
I'm
water,
giving
bro.
you
Hold
the
on.
Just
other
Nobody's
calm
jumping you.
down,
taste
bro.
of
Nobody's
Calm
your
jumping
down.
you.
medicine. And you guys are crying like a bitch boy. You guys are throwing baby temper
you lied
tantrums
on
the very
Batanas.
moment
He
I
we're trying to
place you
have a
guys
Apollo,
back.
Apollo,
And you
conversation.
you
guys are
need
trying to
to
press
Fucking
the
calm
idiot.
original.
down,
How
bro.
does
Fucking
that
You
feel,
monkey.
really
You
dude?
need.
fucking
How
monkey.
does that
Stop
feel,
speaking for
dude?
a second.
How
Stop
does that
fucking
feel, dude?
speaking.
You try to press me on something, and now you're getting backstressed after I'm pressing you back.
Apollo,
Holy
Oh
shit,
Apollo,
my
you
dude.
need to
god, this
calm
Now,
guy's
down, bro.
going
anyways.
off.
Just go
Yo,
drink some
Dude,
Apollo, you
water.
need
Stop
to get
fucking
married,
oh,
man.
look
pissing
at
I
on
these.
don't know why
her.
you
The
people
tone
do this.
police,
Like,
dude.
just piss
Oh,
him off.
shit, dude. We got the tone police in the freaking
Apollo
voice
needs
call.
to
I'm
get
gonna
like
get a
married, bro. He
ticket.
keeps on
I'm
like
gonna
making
get a
these
ticket
sexual
for
remarks.
Yo,
Just
wait,
make
wait,
him
speaking
wait,
too
wait,
married.
wait.
loud
Just make
to
it
her.
Yo,
work for him, bro.
by the way, this
Apollo,
guy's
you
status proof that
genuinely
he's
Apollo's
an
a
retarded.
active spirits. Custom billah, this guy's a liar, bro. Are you gonna
Oh shit, I'm
disbelieve
so
in
scared. I'm
Batanas if
gonna
he
get a
believes in
ticket
active
for
spirits?
speaking too loud, guys. Holy, I
Answer
gotta
the
calm
question. Answer
down.
the question. Are
Holy
you
shit,
gonna
dude.
disbelieve in Batanas if he believes in active
I'm
spirits?
just feeling ecstatic right now. I'm
You
feeling
fucking
elated. I
idiot.
just love
Come on, bro.
bullying you guys,
Look at
dude.
him
I'm
running
Nigga,
away,
you're
feeling
gonna
bro.
be
happy, dude.
feeling my dick,
Apollo is
bro. Shut
feeling
the
like
fuck
a
up.
bad B right now.
Well, this guy's a retard,
Just
bro.
tell me why this is the case we ought to adopt to your so-called modern academic standard for it to be the case
What do
that
you mean
given the
my
He's
context of
so-called?
this
trying to
This
tell
isn't
you,
my.
conversation,
G. He's
But
trying
this
to
is
please,
tell
not
you.
my.
Christian
This is
reference.
not
Tell me
He's
my
why.
trying to tell
modern.
you and you're cutting him
Wait,
off. You
this is
idiot.
not my center.
Why are you trying to
So
box so
the
often,
reason,
dudes?
the
Attack my
reason
points and stop shut the
I'm
boxing.
attacking.
Attack
Okay,
my points and stop
you
shut the
asked why
boxing.
it's
Go.
relevant or why it's important. Well, it's like
That's not what I
curated
just
so
said.
that.
I asked. That's. I never asked about
Okay,
Bro, can you
relevancy,
let
fine.
me
you
speak, you
retard.
stupid
I asked
retard, bro?
you
Let me
why.
speak.
I'm asking you why do we have to adopt this standard which you have not proven to even exist? And
Okay,
I never
And
because
he's
asked about
answering.
relevancy. That's a different question.
the standard is
Okay,
useful
shut
because
for
it
10
calls for
seconds. Let him speak.
it calls for the immediacy
Don't tell me
of
what
Shut
to
the
do,
life.
fuck
slave.
up,
Pipe down,
Apollo.
monkey.
Go back on mute,
Okay?
bro.
Apollo, you
Fucking
really need
Or
to
monkey,
else
bro.
stop.
what? Or what?
Fucking
You really
zesty
Or
need to
monkey,
what?
stop.
bro.
Do something
Go
about it,
back,
son.
You
go
really
back on
need
Do
mute,
to
bro.
stop.
something
Hey,
about it.
gay guy,
I'm
go
still
back on mute.
talking. Do
Hey,
something about it.
Mr.
What
Gay,
are you
go
gonna
back
do?
on mute.
You're on
Mr. Gay, go
Discord.com.
back
You're
on mute, you
unemployed,
zesty
bitch.
motherfucker. Go
What are
back
you
on
gonna do
mute.
about it?
Go
You're
back on mute.
unemployed and you're a beast. What are you gonna do about me
Go
talking,
back on
dude?
mute,
Do
boy. Go
something
back
about it
on
right
mute. Let
now.
him answer. Wallah, this guy's a retard. Qasam billah, bro. How is he even speaking, bro?
I
Shut the
think
fuck
he's
up, go
sped. I
back on
think
mute,
he's a
boy.
little bit
That's what I
sped.
thought.
Well, I
Bro,
think he's a little bit
someone
sped.
moderate, bro. This guy is just like fucking. Don't understand.
Oh
And
my
he ran away
god,
from
piss me off,
Alexander
bro.
too. And he ran away from Alexander as well. And he's a lot too.
He's saying
And he's a lot
Jahmiya
as well.
stuff and he's like takfiring many people. What is this, Apollo? Bro, calm down.
Wait, Apollo,
And by the
Apollo,
way,
These
wait.
guys are
wallahi,
so
By the way,
bad.
wallahi,
Dude.
yesterday,
Apollo,
Was anyone
Apollo,
part of this
hold on.
conversation? Please tell
Apollo
me
said
someone
by,
is recording. Please
hold
tell
on,
me.
chill out, chill out.
Venice, I could care less about you unsubbing, you dumbass. You
Apollo,
niggas
calm down,
begged me.
nigga.
You niggas
yo,
sent me friend
boycott him.
requests.
Wallah,
I don't
guys,
even know
boycott him.
anything, niggas.
Apollo
Boycott
now
him.
was just
The only
jumping on
And
person
by
who
the
everyone
I
who
way,
know
talks
and I
by
bad
the
give
way,
a
about him.
fuck
Apollo,
for is
you're
Hannah
a
and
heretic,
Jihadis.
Apollo said he's
bro.
You
embarrassed to be a
niggas,
Muslim.
as
You're
weird
Wallahi,
a heretic,
Apollo
friend
said he's
requests
nigga.
embarrassed to
asking
be a
my
Muslim.
autograph
You're a
in my
heretic,
DMs.
nigga.
I don't
You're
give
a
a
heretic,
fuck about
nigga.
any of you random ass pieces of
Apollo
Apollo,
you're a heretic.
Apollo
You're
says,
a
wallahi,
heretic.
Apollo
I
said
am
he's
subbed to my
impersonal.
channel, nigga. Shut the
You're
hell up. I don't even know any of you
Oh yeah,
niggas,
yeah.
dude.
By
I
the
hopped
way,
in the server, I
Apollo
hopped in the
yesterday,
server, and
Apollo yesterday
Oh, your
instantaneously
said
got
that
Islam is
he's
VIP
unknown,
about to be
nigga.
a
access
Muslim. By the
and
way,
He
VIP
said what? He
starts
said what
status
yesterday?
because of my
he
debate in
said
the building.
Apollo said he's
None of you niggas
embarrassed
are
to be a
even know this
Muslim. He's
shit, dog.
he's embarrassed of
Yo,
Islam,
Apollo,
by the way.
Apollo, your
A'udhu
Islam is
billah.
Wait,
unknown.
These niggas
you're
are
embarrassed to
talking
be
about
Muslim,
I'm
Apollo?
subbing to my
Yo,
channel as if I
Apollo,
give a
Wait,
shit.
Apollo,
you're
your
Dog, I don't
Islam,
even
your
know you
Islam is
niggas like that.
unknown. Your
You
Islam
guys
wait,
is
are you
unknown,
send
embarrassed to
me
be
Apollo.
friend
Muslim?
requests. I can even
Apollo.
send screenshots
You're
of
Zindiq,
anything
Apollo,
niggas
you
send
Apollo.
me
really need
friend
to calm
requests
down,
on
bro.
all the
Can someone
time.
maintain
wait,
it?
I don't even know
all of
anything
you,
you
all
guys
of
do.
you
Wallahi,
attacking
wallahi,
Apollo
wallahi.
now. I know you rejected your friend request. Calm down, guys. Fine, it's fine.
Apollo, your Islam is unknown, nigga. You're Zindiq.
Islam is not known. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude.
Bro. You're Zindiq.
When
Your
did
Hey
you
Islam is
become
guys,
a
hey
Christian?
guys,
Like,
instead
when
of
did you
Whoever
become a
said
whoever
Christian?
that,
When
Apollo,
did
Apollo,
you
the
become a
Islam
Apollo,
is
Christian?
more
Apollo,
Wait,
Apollo,
knowledge.
you're
you
Mr.
have
Whoever
speaking
to
said
for
Goblin?
that,
yourself and you're
you
just
Apollo,
can't
the
running.
make
Islam
anyone
is
Trash,
who's
more
talking
some
knowledge
bad
than
about
you.
you and you're
ape.
making
Mr.
takfir.
Goblin, then we can
You're a
continue the
heretic. Your
conversation,
Islam is
bro.
Yo, you
unknown, bro.
don't believe in Allah. You believe in Batanas, bro. Calm
You
down,
don't
calm down.
believe in the law. Prove that claim. Prove that claim.
Yes, you don't believe in Allah. Yes, yes,
Prove
you
the
do.
claim. I don't believe in the law. Prove the claim.
Yeah, because Batanas believes in actus purus, and you actually said he doesn't. Wallah, you lied.
Why do
So
you
what
think
do we talk?
Actus Purus is necessary? Wait, hold on. Just to be clear, do you believe? Do
It's
you think
true
I believe in
actuality.
Actus Purus?
Stupid retard.
Do you think I believe in Actus Purus?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're a Jahmi.
Prove that claim right
Subhanallah.
now.
Bro, you said you believe in Batanas, and Batanas
Yeah,
believes
you
that.
said that.
Therefore,
I'm a
you believe in
witness.
him. You disbelieve in
Prove
him.
that
Yeah,
claim?
exactly.
Do you think it is
Inna
the
lillah,
case to
is this
believe
guy
in that God
Prove that
has
claim. Prove that
distinctions
claim.
between his attributes necessitates it being active spirits?
Okay, bro.
Bro, why is this guy's
Yes or
voice
no?
cracking? Why is this
Yes
guy's
or
Bilal,
voice
no?
Bilal is
Apollo
a
just
retard.
low
Bilal.
Yes or
difference.
no?
Bilal is a retard.
Yes or no?
Bilal is a retard.
Yes or no? Yes or no? That's the question, dude.
Yo,
Yes or
guys,
no?
can we
Yeah,
please
that's
show
my
some
turn.
respect?
Oh,
Can we
look at them
please stop
dodging and running
talking like
away from the
this?
fucking question. Yes or no? Is that the case?
Wallahi, I
Yes
must
or
admit,
no?
yeah,
Alright,
Yoshi
bro.
Apollo, and he's just
Your
full of
man is
I
ignorance.
don't
trying to
think
kill
God
us.
have asked for
Apollo's
this. I
fourth
don't think God
victim.
have
Wait,
asked for this.
This guy is
Apollo's
a slow.
fourth victim in
Alhamdulillah.
this VC today, by the way, guys.
Wallah,
Yo,
whoever takes you
Apollo,
this
A
long
whole
is
look,
a
bunch
good
of
man,
kid.
you
Somali
may
disgusting pieces of trash piping
Apollo,
up,
look.
trying to press
Just
me on the
crashing
keto
out
when you
on
guys don't
everyone,
even know
bro.
basic
That
Yo,
Apollo,
yo,
law.
wait,
Apollo,
wait.
Apollo
So,
is
wait. You came
You
on
guys
your
are
birthday
conceptually,
and you
mentally, and
celebrated your
logically
birthday?
inept. You guys don't even
Okay.
qualify for these
I
Nigga,
hope
I
conversations.
would
that
have
nobody
the
You niggas are
evidence if it
You
wasn't
wannabe
wait.
covered.
scholars who
You
comes
two
on
were
Oh, so
getting
you
Discord
said
dot
beefy
you
com
on
mean
your
talk
so
about
you
these
birthday.
started
things.
feeling
Like, you
anyone that
niggas are not even
spoke
Discord.
bad about
Niggas
you?
are not
Like,
even Muslim
what is this,
scholars.
So,
What are
bro?
you
guys,
trying to do right now?
guys,
may be right.
you
You
want
What are
may
you
something
have
even
been
trying to
serious?
do
arguing
right
with
now,
someone
dude?
else, but this type of
Listen,
language is
Apollo, go
not a
back
good
to
look.
watching
It makes
anime.
You
That's
can't
SJP
not
even
look
okay.
not.
bad.
You
It
can't
makes
even
you look bad. It
answer
makes
and
everyone look bad.
understand my
Go
You
back
very
to
may
simple
watching
one
agree with
anime.
me
question.
That's
as a
your place now,
doctor,
boy.
but the presentation right now is terrible.
How do you feel to get owned on
Go
philosophy
back.
by an
Apollo,
anime
go
debater? How
back
do you feel
what
about
you're
this?
Go
capable
back.
How
of.
do you feel to
Focus
get
on back what you're
dialectically
capable of.
enslaved by an anime debater on
Go back
philosophy?
to
How do you feel
watching.
about this?
Yo,
How
you're a
does it
Jahmi,
feel to
man.
lose,
Nigga, you're
guys?
not the
Oh,
main
this
How
guy
guy.
does
is
it
full of
feel to
arrogance,
Oh
bro.
my
lose?
god.
Don't let
How
the
does it
don't
feel
let
to
Wallahi, you
lose,
didn't
guys?
win.
يا رجل يا
How
رجل
does
يا
it feel
رجل
to lose,
Asking
guys?
يا
me
How
if you
does
رجل
it
don't.
feel to lose?
philosophy يا
You
رجل
didn't win
philosophy
against
How does
me,
it
أكبر
feel
bro.
to answer
حكام
the
يا رجل.
goddamn question? How does it feel to lose to one
How
guy? How
does it
does
How
it
feel
feel
does
to
that
it
it's
lose?
your
feel? You're
birthday and
over
you're
speaking
getting
over me.
baked?
How does it
Answer
feel
the
to
This
lose?
guy is a
question, you
Jahmi, bro. He's
freaking
a Jahmi. He's a
slave. How
Jahmi, and
does
he
it feel to
takfires
lose?
everyone who speaks bad about him, bro. It's pointless.
You're getting baked on the day of your birthday, bro. Damn, wallah, that's
These guys try to straw man my position and try to lie about me not believing
oh,
in the
this
law
is
and can't even
bro.
substantiate the
Go back
claim.
to
Jahmi, and
Holy, dude.
you takfir
May,
everyone that speaks
may
bad
Allah
about you,
forgive you,
bro.
motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Holy
Nigga,
Nigga,
you
shit.
a
Apollo,
May
why
Jahmi.
you
Allah
so
forgive you,
petty,
niggas.
bro? Why you so
May
You're a
petty?
Allah
Apollo
Jahmi,
forgive you
forgive
guys for
anybody,
you
by the way.
guys
Apollo.
trying to
You're a
compare
Jahmi,
someone
and
without
you
any
takfir everyone
basis.
that talks bad about you.
Apollo. Go
Holy,
back
That's not
dude.
true. Apollo didn't defeat anybody. Don't lie.
If you
Actually,
think
Yeah,
my
he did.
Apollo,
Islam is
why
not
you
accepted by
He
any
did.
sensible person here, Venice, you can debate me on it right now. I'll run the gauntlet
Literally,
on
Oh
this
my
entire
literally,
god, bro.
bro.
server.
He just
I'll
called
tell
them fake
Joester
Muslims,
or
bro.
Vienna or any
Oh
person
my
like Jihadist to make a stage and I'll debate any single Muslim on my beliefs in this server. I'll run the freaking gauntlet on you motherfuckers.
god.
And I'll make
You're not
sure to
Muslim,
put
bro.
it up on YouTube for
You're
everyone
You're
to
still
not
Muslim.
witness
even
how
Muslim.
retarded
What the
even
hell?
my own community
You're
is.
not even Muslim.
Let's
What the
go.
hell?
You
nigga,
guys
you
think
cannot
my
have a
Islam is retarded? You
conversation,
can
nigga. You
debate me
cannot
right
even
now.
have a
I will debate
conversation.
Wait,
any
wait,
Wallahi,
wait,
wallahi,
Muslim
wait.
on
Apollo,
this.
from
I'll
what I
debate
heard
Apollo,
what
any
you
Apollo.
said,
Muslim
Wait,
on
you
this.
said some
Apollo.
I'll
Jahmi
debate
stuff. You
Anyone
any
who
takfir
wants to
person
everyone
in
that
debate
this
speaks bad
Apollo,
server,
about you,
sign
bro.
up
whether it's
right now.
Muslim or Christian
Anyone
or
who
an
wants
atheist
to.
or anybody believes. Let's go.
Anyone who wants to. Anyone.
Let's go.
Anyone can get it.
Don't run.
Let's
Don't
go.
run. Debate me. Don't run. Debate me. Don't run.
Happy
Don't turn them off. You can
birthday.
debate
This is
me.
what
Don't
happens
turn
when
it
you're
off.
full of
Nigga,
arrogance.
He's
Bro.
a
nigga,
running.
Apollo, you're
He's
starting
a
to act
running.
like a
Look at
monkey
him,
Like
right
you
bro.
now,
guys have a
bro.
Look
right
at him,
to
bro.
enter
Look
the
at him.
derails and make the
Apollo,
dialogue
let's
responsibly
discuss.
because
Apollo,
you
let's
guys are
discuss.
scared. I'm better than you guys, and you guys
Yo,
know
yo,
it, and that's why
Look
you
at
guys
the
make
Can
me
you
arrogance.
get
legitimate.
better? Can you
Apollo,
Look at
better?
the
let's
Just
talent
provide
discuss.
the
level.
Guys,
I'm
citation.
better, and I
Nigga,
prove
you're
it.
not.
I
Yeah.
saved everything
Can you
with
just
my
guys,
provide
fucking
the
Look
life.
at
Can you
that.
just
This is
provide
this
the
is
Can you just provide the
analytically proven. You
citation
guys
from
are
Plotinus,
IQ
Plotinus?
see,
of the
Ahmed,
entirety of
you
the
two are
bloodlust.
trapping up
You
Allah.
guys are
Can
You
retarded.
you
two are
provide the
trapping up Allah.
citation from Plotinus?
yo,
Which
debate me,
person?
bro.
Which person person says they want to
Can you
discuss.
provide the reference
Yaki
from
Yeah,
was
I want to
Yaki.
discuss. I want to discuss. I want to
Yeah,
discuss.
Okay,
so
what
yo,
topic do you want to debate on?
Wait,
Let's
can
discuss.
you
What
just
topic
provide
do you
the
want to debate on?
citation?
I've already
Can you
heard
just
you,
provide
retard.
the citation?
What
Wait, wait.
topic do you want to
I have
debate
a
on,
question.
Yaki?
I have a question for you. I want to discuss
What
with you.
topic do you want to
I want
debate
to
on?
discuss with you.
I want
which
to
one?
debate
Which
too.
one?
I don't want.
Yo,
I don't. I'm not
Apollo's
like. I'm not even in an interview right now.
Apollo's scared of
No, no, no,
Oscar.
no,
Where's the
no.
law?
I'm gonna debate
Okay.
you. I'm
What
gonna
topic
debate
do
you.
you want to debate
Where's the
on?
law? Where's the law, Apollo?
Do you believe that God
What
has
topic do you want to
Debate
debate
me,
on,
nigga. I'm
guys?
gonna
You guys
rape
said
you.
my Islam is nonsense.
Okay.
You guys said
Do
my
you
Islam
believe
is
that God
nonsense.
has
So
a
tell me what topic
specification?
you're going to debate on. What
Okay.
topic you want to debate on? Pick a topic. Pick a debate
Okay.
proposition.
Wait,
Nigga's
wait.
a
I want.
pussy.
I
He
want to
doesn't want
debate.
to debate.
Okay.
Yo,
Let
Okay,
me
never
so
say.
speak
I'm
about
gonna
that
give you.
debate.
I'm
It
gonna
already
give you the
existed.
only
God has
rendition.
proposition
I'm gonna
knowledge.
give you the
Do you
only
believe
Pick
that
a
rendition.
God has
debate
proposition knowledge?
proposition.
Apollo, you're a
Wait, wait. I
pussy.
want
You're
to
not
debate
gonna
with you.
debate
I want
anyone.
to
Pick a
Okay.
debate.
debate
Apollo, do you believe
proposition.
that
I
God
Go.
want to
has
debate with you.
proposition knowledge?
Shut the
Go.
fuck up,
Go.
pussy.
Apollo,
You're gonna
Go.
burn in hell.
Don't
Apollo,
tell me what
where's
to do, you
Allah?
slave.
Apollo, where's
Shut
Tell
Allah?
the
me.
fuck up,
Tell
nigga.
me
You're
your
a
Apollo,
pussy.
where's
proposition.
Okay,
Allah?
okay, hold on, hold
with
on,
you.
hold on, hold on. I gave you
You're
Plotinus's
my slave,
argumentation
bitch ass
of
nigga.
divine simplicity, and
Tell
I
me the debate
so
proposition.
can you tell me? I actually
Yeah,
went and
yeah.
found it
I
for you
will.
from
I
Ed
will.
Feeser's
I'll tell
website.
you the debate
Hold on,
proposition.
hold on, Hold on, I found Ed Feaser's regimentation. He compiled his
Just a second. Forget about this guy.
And I want you to tell me where in this
I'll
regimentation does
I'll
it
tell
account
you the
for
debate
like there being
proposition.
distinct attributes. Can you
There's
tell
so
me?
many
what the
monkeys
debate-
talking, it's hard to make you guys out unironically.
You know what
You guys
the
gotta
No,
take
I
it.
actually gave you a citation though. Can you give me a
you know what the
citation
debate
like I
You're
gave
getting
you a
over
citation?
talked. Whoever this is, you're getting over talked by some other
Yeah,
monkey in the
nobody speak
background.
Mateo.
You guys
you know
gotta
what
calm
the
down.
debate
Mateo,
proposition
thank you,
is?
bro.
You guys
Nobody
gotta
speak
calm
Mateo.
down, dude. You
Yo,
guys gotta calm
shut
down.
the fuck up on
Holy.
Spanish, you idiot.
Do you know what the debate proposition is?
Yo, Apollo, do you believe that God has professional knowledge?
Is that a debate proposition or is that a question?
No, the debate proposition is Allah above his throne.
That's not the proposition you reach at. It's a question.
It
Are you
is.
That's the
fucking stupid?
question. Nice one, Mr. H. You
You're
already
taking a
failed. You
burden
already
of
But
got
also,
marked.
you
think
asked
you
me
are
a question without me the debate proposition.
No,
That's a huge blunder.
Wait, do you
That's a
believe
huge
Allah is above his
blunder.
Dude, that's a huge
Wait,
blunder.
do you
It's his
believe Allah
birthday.
is
Can you
above
just
his
let him
throne?
blunder?
You ask me a question and tell me this is a debate proposition.
Now, do you believe?
Why are you wait,
You
why are
niggas
you
are
trying to
retarded.
why are you trying to
Holy shit,
why
dude.
are you trying to
Holy. Now, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to give you guys a chance to redeem yourself from the blunders. Give me a debate proposition.
Yeah,
Type it out in the chat.
It's gonna
Slaves,
be
go
the
for it.
ulu of Allah. It's gonna be the ulu of Allah.
Be a good boy and give me a debate
It's
proposition.
gonna be the
He
ulu of
just did, you
Allah.
dumbass. He just told you, nigga.
Yeah.
He
I
just
don't
told
I
think
you.
never
You're
you
heard
in
what
the
he
know
said
chat.
the
because he was
I don't
slurring
think
over
you
his
know the
words.
ulu.
That's
He
not a
was
proposition.
slurring
In
over his
Arabic,
words.
bro.
Repeat.
Look,
Repeat.
Mr.
No, he
H,
used
you
an
know what
Arabic
proposition
word,
is?
but you
You
don't
know what
speak Arabic,
proposition
man.
is?
What does
That's
ulu
not the
mean?
debate proposition. I'm waiting for the debate proposition.
Yeah, I gave you. It's gonna be the ulu of Allah.
I
He
don't know
doesn't know
what
what
that
that means because
proposition
he's an
is.
Indian.
Oh
Because
my
he's an
God.
Indian, he doesn't know what that means. He doesn't
He
know what
doesn't know
ulu
what
means.
He
ulu
doesn't
means.
know.
Just because I
He
speak
He's
doesn't
gonna
know
English.
what
debate
ulu
you
means. He
Allah
thinks
and
he's
the
an
Bible.
Indian.
I speak English. I'm not a bunch of terrorists from the Middle East like you motherfuckers. That's the reason.
You're an
So tell
Indian,
me what the
bro.
proposition
So
is.
knowing
Yo,
Arabic
this
makes
guy
you a
is Islam.
terrorist. So
Islamophobe.
knowing Arabic makes you a terrorist.
Now you guys are gonna cry about the
Hold
racist
on, hold on,
comeback
hold on,
after
hold
you
on,
guys
hold on.
be the
So
racist
knowing
motherfuckers.
Arabic,
That's
so knowing
so
the
crazy, dude.
knowing
You guys can't even handle a bit of
wait.
racism. The
Hold
very
on.
moment you
I'm
guys
giving you
speak
Plotinus.
racism,
I'm giving you
how does it
Plotinus's
feel,
regimentation.
dude?
Of
And you're guys are
Plotinus.
getting aggro about that comment
Wait,
right now. How does
why
it
are you
feel,
not
dude?
dealing with
How does
Plotinus'
it feel,
regimentation?
dude? Now tell me what the proposition is.
Can you give me the
Bro,
reference
tell
to
me what the
Plotinus'
proposition is.
You're not
Look
listening.
at the low tiers, dude. Holy
Apollo
shit,
made the
dude.
jammy comment and he took
Apollo,
3 people in this VC.
Apollo, you're not listening.
No, another low
Apollo, you
tier
cannot
is the
get, you
conversation.
can't call
How many
nobody
more
terrorist
low
when you
tiers are
sound
they
like
gonna
a
say when
white,
they get
a
back
gay
shots
white
by the
man.
same guy over and over and over?
Akhi, we're trying
Why
to
are you
feed the
thinking
check you,
about
bro.
backshot?
Where's
Yeah,
Allah?
guys, we don't need 10 people
That's
to
not a
talk at the
debate
same
proposition.
time.
That's a question. I get
Okay,
it.
Apollo,
Come on,
you're gonna
knock it.
discuss with Ginger, okay? You're gonna discuss with Ginger, okay? Go ahead.
You don't tell me
Keep
what
it
to do,
Dude,
my
moving.
boy.
give him a feed the
I
check
decide what
first,
is
bro. Ask
Who
him
is
where
this guy
Allah is.
talking to?
Hey, ask him where Allah is.
Stop
Wait,
interrupting, stop
Holy
interrupting.
shit,
Okay,
dude.
Apollo and Ginger are gonna have a one-on-one. Nobody's gonna interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, give me
don't
the
mention
reference
Wait,
to
Plotinus.
who
Plotinus.
is Ginger? What's his
You're
beliefs
not a
and what
moderator, bro.
proposition does he
You're not a
disagree with?
moderator.
No, look, I'm the guy who's speaking. No need for all that. I'm just gonna ask you to provide me with the reference on
Apollo's a
Plotinus
jammy
as
guy,
against
That's
so.
not the
defines
debate
the kissing.
proposition.
I'm asking you.
What's
No,
the
no, no.
debate
You're using it. You're
proposition?
using it with arguments of
Running,
efficacy.
sprinting,
I asked you to give me a.
deflecting,
What do you mean
and
running?
dodging. Tell
Yeah,
me the
this is
debate
just gonna be another
proposition.
easy
I'm not
W
running.
Tell
for
me the
Apollo
debate
right here.
proposition. Look at him running away
I'm having a
like the deer or
discussion.
donkey is and asking me deer or
I'm having a discussion with you. So I'm asking you to
yeah,
provide me
you
with the reference.
understand that discussions of this nature is going to rely upon a debate proposition. And if there's no established debate
It's not.
proposition,
I'm
then
asking
you're
you a
not be
question.
a meaningful
No,
discussion
no,
to
it
begin
doesn't.
with.
It
So
doesn't require.
tell
It
me what
doesn't
the debate
require.
The
proposition
debate
is.
If you want
Can
to
you
run,
provide?
just say that.
Can you give me?
Oh
If you want to run,
shit,
just say that.
you guys are peeing your pants right now.
I'm
You guys'
asking for a
underwear is
simple. Look,
soaked.
you made the claim. Plotinus is.
You're stuttering. Calm down.
You
Let's
made
have
the
this
claim.
conversation.
Plotinus is
Back to
accounting for
Ginger. Back to
simplicity.
Ginger. Back to
Please
Ginger.
be moderate.
Tell me
I'm
what the
gonna start
debate
muting you
proposition
guys.
is.
I'm gonna start muting you. I'm gonna start muting you guys. Wait, listen.
Yo, Ray's gonna
Apollo,
moderate.
Oh
Apollo,
no, I'm gonna get muted. Oh my god.
Apollo.
Oh wait.
Just let Apollo.
Apollo, let me ask you a
How many
question, bro.
times do you have to call my name to start a sentence, you dipshit retard? Just say the fucking sentence. Just make sure it's
This guy's
relevant.
part of Vienna's gang. Wallah, that's crazy.
You sound like a
Vienna's
fag.
gang. Alhamdulillah, that's
Bro, this
crazy,
guy
bro.
is not Indiana gang, bro. This guy
I
is
I'm
hope
gonna say
someone is
Indiana gang,
recording
bro.
this,
Wallah, you
brother
guys are cooks,
Stefan.
bro.
I
You
hope
guys are
someone
cooks.
is recording this,
Yo,
I
bro.
got the whole thing, man. I got the
Oh
whole
my
thing.
god, dude. Holy.
Where's God?
There's nothing.
Apollo,
What's up? What do you want to say, dude?
where is
Go
God?
for it.
Where is God? Where's
As
Allah?
for the
Where's
debate and
Allah?
proposition,
Yeah,
try again, dude.
Ray, that's
Not
That's not
only
a
have I
debate
already
proposition.
answered the question, but I'm asking you for a debate proposition. You guys are running
Yo,
from my
by
debate
the way,
proposition
Apollo,
because
where's
you
already
Allah?
guys
answered.
don't want to
Where's
run the
Allah?
face.
Apollo,
You
where's
Wait,
guys
Allah?
wait,
don't
we
want to
got
run the
10
face.
people.
You
We
guys
got
don't
about
want to
10
throw
people
hands
for
on
the
the
where's
debate.
debate.
Allah?
We got about
Yeah,
10
he
people for the
he
literally
debate,
already
just put
Apollo,
a
answered.
but
zero.
nobody
He
can
said
come
he
up with a
believed that
debate
God
Holy
doesn't have
dude,
to
proposition. Why
have
is
what's
a
the
that?
debate
physical face.
proposition?
Yeah.
Apollo, where's Allah?
Who's gonna
And now
step
they're
up and
deflecting
provide
from
a
the
debate
Okay,
motion.
wait,
proposition?
Let's
wait,
Listen,
take
one
one
second.
second. Try. You might
Discussing
actually give a debate
Aqidah. One second.
proposition.
Discussing Aqidah. Apollo is useless because he's a retard. He doesn't know anything
He's
about
allergic
scripture,
to
and he
it.
makes
He's
he has
allergic.
his
he's a
own.
Don't
One
use
retard.
second.
the
He's a
One
word
second.
retard. Yeah,
retard.
they can't
Don't
He
use
argue
the
with
has
word
him.
his own
retard like that.
They
philosophical
can't
You
argue
commitments.
with him.
sound
So
Okay,
like
what?
an extra
so
almost
let
right
me
now
do
on
my
that
point.
run.
Follow the
You
steps.
on that run,
Ahmed, you're
you're
just running.
like
Ahmed,
in
you're
the single
running. You're
digit
running
mark.
from.
Shanks,
You're running
Shanks.
from
Wallahi, you're
Apollo.
glazing, nigga. I don't know why you're
Dumbass.
glazing
Why
this
do you want to
nigga. He's
debate
like
He's
philosophy?
three.
Just
200
One
explain
second,
it.
Shanks.
kilogram having
Ahmed,
ass
Shanks is just
motherfucker, dude. You're
trolling. Shanks is a
5'6"
troll.
IRL. Nigga, you're like a middle school dropout, dude. And you're a troll. All of you niggas are trolls, and you guys are
Wait,
retarded. And you guys
look. At
Oh,
this
your
point, you
Islam is
gotta ban
running.
him,
Apollo,
wallah,
Apollo,
because
you're a
look,
bum ass nigga,
he
bro.
doesn't even engage. He just does this.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. All right, listen,
Yo,
Apollo,
Ray, that was
Apollo,
not tough,
bro,
nigga. That was not tough,
Apollo,
bro.
Apollo,
when
stop,
I get
stop,
muted
stop
out the
trolling,
room,
dude.
that's a bit
Apollo,
ridiculous.
stop trolling, dude, and stop insulting people. All right, this is still an Islamic server. This is still a Muslim server. I don't care
He
who
takes
you
fear
are.
like 3 people, bro. He takes fear 3 people.
How is that fair? He's been insulted by everybody here in
Yo,
the VC.
He
Bro,
takfir three
Shanks,
people.
well, why
He
the
takes
hell
fear
He
three
you
people,
call
takfir
you
bro. He
three
just
glazed
people.
on,
stands
bro?
alone.
I'll accept your concession. This bum ass nigga left the VC. What concession, bro? What?
Bum ass nigga, he left the VC.
Bro, someone ban Apollo, bro.
Is this guy a Muslim?
Yes,
Apollo
he's
on the
No.
Muslim.
stage.
Yes, he's Muslim.
No.
No,
No,
he's
he's
He
not.
not.
isn't.
Apollo,
No, he's
Why
not.
is
Apollo
he
is
He's
on
a
not?
the
Muslim.
Wait,
Look,
stage.
look, look.
let me
You
ask
guys,
one person. Let me ask.
Apollo takfir das. Apollo takfir. But he's not
Let me let,
Muslim.
me ask
Yeah,
one
you guys are
person.
just
No,
doing this.
Ray.
Guys, listen,
Apollo's
listen.
behind his
Apollo
gun, by
said
the way.
Jahmi
Wallah,
comments,
you guys
and then
should
he
just
takfired
remove that
three
right now.
Muslims.
Wait. Abu Fahad. Abu Fahad. Is he a Muslim?
No, he
No,
isn't.
he's in there.
No,
He's
wait,
not.
Ray. He claims to be a Muslim, right? He affirms Islam for himself, but he has like 5 kufri like aqaid. Like this guy is barely Muslim,
What
barely.
did he say?
Wait,
What
wait.
did he
I'll
say?
say.
Ray, you're a
Bro,
dumb
it's
fuck.
just
Ray,
a
you're a
Bro
normal
fucking
asked,
idiot.
classical
do
Why are
you
you
believe
debate.
there's
muting me?
Allah? He says he
You're a
doesn't have a
stupid fucking
spectacle place
retard,
for him.
Ray.
Wait,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
You,
wait.
I'm
Look.
muting you.
Let's stop with the.
Talking over
Let's
you.
stop with the
No,
insults.
I'm not talking over you, dumb fuck. You didn't start
Wait, let's
speaking.
stop with the
Wait,
insults,
I
please.
love how I got muted for no reason, but people
Shanks,
can
well,
just
you're
troll
glazing.
Ray.
Shut your
You're
ass
glazing
up,
him.
Shanks. You're annoying
No,
as
no,
fuck.
I'm being impartial. I'm being impartial. You guys are talking about
Shanks, you're being
insults.
stupid right now. Wallah, just chill,
Look,
bro.
Shanks,
you
how does
guys
it
are
taste,
look.
Shanks? How does
Can't
it
even
taste?
talk.
Shanks, you must
I can't
understand.
Shanks,
He
how
even
does
made
it
a
talk. You're
taste?
Jahmi
sending
comment.
insults.
He
Look,
claimed to be Muslim, and he made a Jahmi comment, and then he takfir three people in VC. What do you think
Why
of
he
do
that?
made
we?
a Jahmi comment. Oh, he made a Jahmi comment. Then he didn't takfir anyone.
Yes, he did.
He did,
Look,
bro.
Literally,
He
you
did.
are
Yo,
literally
get
He
off
listening.
his
did.
meme,
He literally
bro.
called you a fake
Holy
Muslim.
smokes.
You are not listening, Shanks.
Look,
Shanks, you're not listening.
anyways. Look, I'm gonna send this to Ahmed. This is the citation regarding Fezer's
bro,
giving
Ginger.
Plotinus's
Nobody cares.
regimentation.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Can you?
Nobody
Oh
cares.
my god, shut your ass
Exactly.
up.
Ginger,
Look,
Nobody
Ginger
Apollo,
cares.
was
Allegedly.
asked
Because
that like
nobody cares
20
about
minutes
that.
ago.
So just
Look,
shut up.
Shanks, you really
Ginger,
need to start
Abu
listening
Fad,
Ginger,
you're
to
a
the
bum.
VC.
You're a bum.
Apollo. What did he say? What did he say? That's kufr.
He said Allah
Bro,
is
he
not
said
above
he's
his
embarrassed
throne.
to be Muslim.
Yeah,
That's
that's
enough.
much worse than fucking arguing about features, nigga. Holy
No, it
shit.
doesn't
Yeah,
even
this dude is
matter
well,
because
embarrassed to
he's
be Muslim. Class man.
first of all, he didn't exactly say that. All right, word for word.
no, he denied Allah's
It's just a
ulu. He
lad.
said that
Look, look,
Allah is
look.
not in a spatial location. We asked him,
Wait,
where's Allah?
wait,
He said
wait.
he's not in a
It's
spatial
not
I
location.
kufr, by the way.
have a
It's not
point. I have a
kufr, by the
point
way.
to say. I have a point to say.
It's not a
You're
kufr.
just
Yeah, but we don't
you're
Allah
just
is in a special
debating. Wait,
Yeah,
wait, you're just
can you
debating without
can
some
you guys
research.
stop pimping out?
Hey,
Go ahead,
Okay,
Mr. H. Go ahead.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
anyways,
Okay, so the point that I have to make is, you know who the biggest jahil inside this BC is? It's this guy Ahmed. He's a جاهل النحو.
I agree
yo, mute this
100%.
nigga, mute
Shut
this
I
your
agree
nigga,
shut up.
100%.
mute this nigga,
I
mute
Shut
this
up,
nigga.
shut up, shut up, shut up.
100%.
Okay,
Look,
wait, I'll
anyways,
list out his kufriyat.
anyways,
ahead,
he
Ginger.
said Plotinus's account of divine simplicity doesn't say says there's a real distinction between between God's attributes, right? Or the first principle's attributes. That's wrong. That's literally categorically wrong. I asked him to provide the citation. He didn't give me the citation. Here's the actual citation from Feature inside chat regarding
Yeah,
this.
anybody who studied even basic Neoplatonism knows that Plotinus says that the first principle can't be described in any terms. That's why you
Wait,
have
Apollo, why didn't
Neoplatonists
Apollo
even.
get banned though? Why did
Otherwise,
Apollo
there's
get
gonna
banned?
be a
That's
principle which
actually
is
No, he
last time
didn't
you
required.
get
guys
banned.
know.
He left the server.
No, he
Yeah.
never said
Otherwise,
that.
there's gonna be a
because
principle which maintains ontic priority for God, right? So that's gonna be a problem. So yeah, that's a stupid claim. Plotinus never says that. And I asked him to provide the reference. He never provided the reference. Instead, he gave me a book, and he told me to read the entire book. And
That's so horrible, dude. That's horrible. Is that as bad as like denying ulu?
I mean, if
This nigga's been a kafir for the longest time. He's not a Muslim. Stop acting like you care.
Bro, you said there's nothing wrong with the act of spirit.
If
He's a
Plotinus
Muslim.
said
He's a
that,
Muslim. Don't takfir. Don't
No, I
takfir,
know,
man.
but like
He's
you
not a
wanted to
fucking
debate him
Muslim.
about
Yesterday
what
he said he's
Plotinus
embarrassed
said
about being a
instead of
Muslim.
fucking
Today
talking to him about God's
you're
No,
so
no. He
dumb.
did
The
say that.
contention is
He
on
did.
what Plotinus
Shanks,
said.
There's
Shanks,
context. There's
listen, what
context.
Wait,
happened
wait,
is
There's no
Shanks. You were not in the. Wait, 1 second. Yesterday, he said twice, by the way. He said, "I'm embarrassed to be in the same religion as you, and I'm embarrassed to be a Muslim." Is this a kufri
خلاص والله يبقى
statement or
كافر
not?
والله أعوذ بالله
There's
that's
context. You can't take the
there's no
statement out
context
of
to
Shanks,
take him out of
Shanks,
context.
Shanks, do you
There's no
Shanks,
understand what
context.
just happened right now?
Shanks. Wallahi,
Listen,
I might
Yeah, I do.
takfir you
I
if you
do. I
stop
do.
like with this
Shanks
trolling,
he
bro.
made a
أقسم بالله
Jahmi,
يقول
he
والله
made a
يقول
Jahmi comment. He made a Jahmi comment. He takfired
Everybody,
3 Muslims. He
I know
said,
your
"You
problems with
dirty
me, Khan. No
Arabs."
problem, guys.
He made so many racist comments. He called everyone slaves. He called everyone N words and started saying a lot of kufri words. So I don't know what you're talking about, Akhi.
guys,
No,
it's
that's
his
that's
birthday.
all
I mean, it's
Can we? Are we
yeah,
allowed to takfir him on his birthday?
yes
yeah.
الحمد لله it's واجب actually.
Let's
Bro,
takfir him on his
the
birthday.
fact that he's celebrating his birthday is crazy.
No, it wasn't a real
That's
celebration. It was
immaterial.
just
والله
a
that's
TikTok post.
Yeah, takfir
Bro,
him
he,
over there as well. No problem,
bro,
guys.
he,
Takfir, go
bro,
ahead.
he thinks he's the
guys
guy in
والله
his PFP, bro. He thinks he's
we
the guy
should
in
Yo,
be
the
his
cautious.
Somalis
PFP.
caught strays. By the way, this guy's like Indonesian, like Chinese. Like I don't know why he's insulting Somalis.
Wait, what?
That's not true. That's not true.
Apollo is Indonesian Chinese?
Because
He's not. He's not Indonesian. He's not Indonesian.
He's black.
Apollo is a
He's,
chink.
He's
bro, he's
Jamaican
definitely
talking shit
Asian.
about Somali people. That's what he's doing.
yo the things we press him on Africa
Yeah,
that's
he's
why
a
he's
big.
mad.
He's a big black guy. Yeah.
Jamaica is better than Somaliland, to be honest.
He's
Wallah, that's
allergic
not
to Africa. He's
true.
allergic to
Okay,
Africa.
that's
He's
not true.
allergic to
Somaliland?
Africa.
Yeah, you're right.
Apollo,
Yeah,
It's better than
Somaliland. Yeah,
that was
Somaliland.
but not
amazing. That was
Somalia.
diabolical.
Yeah, it's better than Somaliland for sure.
Bro, he's
No, it's
allergic to
not.
Africa
It's
بالعكس,
really
bro.
not, though. To be honest, it's really not better
Yeah,
than
have you
Somalia.
seen the Somaliland president shaking it up and laughing with the Netanyahu?
That's
Bro,
not
he
kufr
was
though.
on FaceTime, bro. They
What
got
do you mean?
recognized
What do
through
you mean? What do you
FaceTime.
mean he was shaking it up?
Wait,
Like, what do you mean he was
look.
shaking
The
it
Yeah,
up?
they're in
Somaliland,
cahoots, mate. They're having the
the
time of their
You
Somaliland.
lives.
don't mean another type of shaking
Bro, I
it.
got the funniest picture, bro. I
Wait,
got the
Wait,
I have
that's
a
POV.
point. I
wait.
have a point
It's
to make.
not
I have a
kufr
point to
though,
make.
bro. If he
I have a
shakes
Yeah,
the
point
let
to
hand of
make.
a
Mr. X
kafir, it
speak.
doesn't
When
matter.
Mr. X
Yo,
speaks,
look
will
at
you
this
be
nigga,
quiet?
bro.
Yeah, exactly. Look. You see the Somaliland president? He's a kafir.
Yo, he's
He's
a
a kafir. Wait,
kafir.
what is this
He's a
kufr? What is this kufr?
munafir, bro.
What is this
What
kufr?
do
What do you
you
That's
mean,
not.
bro?
That's not that bad. That's not the
He's
worst thing
literally,
in the
he's
world.
What
not
is this
literally
kufr, bro? What is
allying
this
with a
kufr?
no,
Bro,
he's allying with a kafir that is
Allah with a kafir
massacring
doesn't
our
make you a
Muslim
kafir
brothers and
necessarily.
sisters,
Doesn't
and
make you
he's
a kafir
annexing the
necessarily.
land. We should be
Yeah,
doing
that's not
defensive
kufr.
jihad
That's not
against them,
kufr
but
actually.
this
No,
guy over here, he's allying with them,
look.
bro.
Whoever said,
That's not
And
kufr
he's
actually
getting nothing out
necessarily.
of it
Because
either, bro. They're about to steal his fucking land.
Bro,
On
it's not
radio.
called it's not called
denying.
defensive jihad. It's called offensive
wait.
jihad.
Allah with a kafir doesn't make you a kafir
Bro, it's
always.
defensive
If
right now. It's
he's
actually
No.
offensive.
Look. Yes, it does.
no,
Yes, it
it
does.
does
But
not.
it's
There's a
also
difference. There's a
wait.
difference, ya مسكين. There's
Bro, you should
لغرض
establish the
دنيوي
hujjah on him
and
you
there's
already, bro.
لغرض
He doesn't
ديني.
No.
know.
لغرض ديني.
Look.
No,
Malik, have
Let me
respect.
just
Have
refute
respect
this.
for
Let
Mr.
me
H.
just refute
He's
this,
got
Irja.
10 times the
Let me
knowledge you
just
have,
he's
I
refute this.
think.
takfir without knowledge. No, I'm not gonna have respect on someone who does takfir rulers without knowledge. I'm not gonna do
Okay,
that.
look.
When it
Okay,
comes to,
let me
to
just make a
align with
point.
kuffar, there's two
Wait,
types.
let me
Calm
just
down,
make a
Allah.
point. Let me
There's
just make a
muwalat and
point,
there's
and
tawalli.
let me
And
Yeah,
there's
we
mention.
know
muwalat
you
and
read.
there's
We know
kubra
you
and
read
there's muwalat
Thalathatul
sughra.
Usul. We know you read Thalathatul Usul, kid. Calm
No,
down.
look.
Okay, are you making fun of
Shanks.
Thalathatul usul? You might be a kafir
No,
والله.
it's very
But anyways,
accessible.
go on.
You don't need to
How
act
You're
like
making
go
fun
on.
of
everyone's a
the
jahil. You don't need
Usul.
to
You
act
might
like
be a kafir.
everyone's a jahil and you're some
If you're
alim.
making fun,
You read
wallah, you're a kafir.
Thalathatul
If you're
Usul.
making fun of it, wallah, you're a kafir. Well, anyways, go on.
Yeah,
Rahman,
just say takfir,
how
guys.
about we
Just
just calm
throw out
down one
takfir.
by
Just
one?
throw out
Okay,
takfir.
Shanks, why
Anybody.
are you
okay.
crashing out, Shanks? Shanks, stop
No,
crashing
no,
out. Stop
takfir,
being a
takfir. Anybody
Bro, this
disagrees
guy
with me,
Shanks,
I'm straight away.
this guy Shanks have
Shanks.
been
Can you
defending
stop, bro?
Apollo. He's
Shanks,
been defending Apollo.
Shanks,
He's always on the wrong side.
you're
Takfir,
a femi-
takfir, guys. Go ahead. Green light,
Wait, just
takfir
it's not
everybody in the
After all the
VC.
trolling you've done, bro, you might honestly, if somebody takfirs you, you deserve it, low key. So
Wait,
Yeah, go
let
ahead.
me
Takfir, green light. Go
wait,
ahead.
let me just make a
Green
point. Let me
lighting a
just make a point.
takfir.
Hello,
What is
hello,
this, bro?
hello, hello. Just a second. Just a
just a
second.
second. Just a second.
Let him
Mr.
talk.
Alright,
Reza,
Just
Mr.
let
whoever,
him
Reza.
talk for a
whoever,
moment.
whoever
Okay,
did
just
that,
wait,
whoever
wait.
did
Just give
that.
him time. Just give him time.
Yeah, let me just make a point. So the point that I wanted to make is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ma'idah, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء. And he also says, ومن يتولهم منكم فهو منهم. So whoever makes them as an ally from yourselves, then he is from them. Now, why does Allah
Amazing.
subhanahu wa ta'ala say this? He mentions in several ayat, he's mentioned, لا تتخذوهم أولياء من دون المؤمنين, instead of the مؤمنين, meaning that allying with a kafir in of itself doesn't make a person a kafir, but it's when you ally with them against the believers or instead of the believers that you become a disbeliever. When we
Amazing.
look
Can
at
I
this
respond to this?
Somaliland, wait,
I'm
just a
gonna
second,
respond
bro.
to this. No, just one second
Wait,
before you go
let
to
me just
Somaliland.
let me
Yeah,
just
you
finish.
don't
Let,
say
let me
I'm
just finish
going
the
to
point.
respond
Let
to
me
this
just
in the
finish the
middle
point.
of a sentence, you idiot.
Wait,
Yeah,
let me
akhi,
just finish. Let me
go
just
to
finish.
example.
Let me
Okay,
just finish
finish.
the point, bro.
Finish,
Let me
finish.
just finish the
Yalla.
point. So,
Yalla.
so look, when we look at this Somaliland point, there is no maslaha for them to ally with Israel, right? And moreover, when they're allying with Israel,
There
when
is.
they're allying
What
with
if
the
they
regime,
think the Somalians are
Guys,
kuffar?
please let him finish. I want to
wait, let
respond
me
to
Bro,
him.
just
there is
finish.
maslaha, there is
What
maslaha.
if they think the
Come on,
Somalians are
come on,
kuffar?
just let
Because
the
then
guy
they
Wait,
will
talk.
let,
believe.
let me just
Guys,
finish.
Then
guys,
you
let
Let
have
me
to.
just
Even
finish.
Then
if
then
Look,
then
this
what
is
No,
about
no,
Bin
this
no,
is
Baz's
why
no,
fatwa?
this is
What about
why
Bin Baz's
Apollo
fatwa?
no,
this
guys,
is
no.
why
Let
even
me,
if
Apollo's
listen,
crash
no,
out
listen,
is
hello, hello.
justified
listen,
because you
listen,
guys
Hello,
listen.
just act
let
like
me
chimps.
finish.
You can't behave yourselves.
Yo, he
guys,
crashed out
let him
because of
finish.
you,
Yeah,
Let
nigga,
him
look,
because of
finish,
look,
bro.
you.
let
Let
me,
him
He
finish.
may
Let
take
him
fear,
finish.
but we don't even
hello,
talk about Apollo. Khalas, leave him.
hello.
Just let the guy talk. Just let him talk. Okay, go ahead,
Let
Mr.
him
Exactly,
Ricky.
finish, ya
exactly.
Shabab. I want to respond,
Just let him
inshallah.
finish. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish. Let
let
him
me just
respond.
finish. Let me
Inshallah.
just finish. Let me just finish.
Let him
Have
finish
some
before
adab.
you.
Have some adab, please.
Yeah, have some adab.
So when we look at the Somaliland president, they are allying with a state that is what actively killing Muslimin, and they know this, right? When we look at historical aspects or from the Hadith, we know that there was a case of a Sahabi who allied with the Mushrikeen against Muslimin, who was what Hatib. When Umar radiallahu anh saw Hatib, what he immediately assumed that he became a murtad, and actually he asked, "Can I?" If the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he asked, "Can I kill him?" But the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam excused Hatib. Why? Because Hatib did it for a personal reason, for a material reason. He did it because his family was in Mecca. But Umar
Amazing. Can I
radiallahu
respond
anh,
to this?
by virtue of Hatib having allied with the Mushrikeen against the Muslimin, he assumed that he was a murtad. So from this
Okay, it
we
was
learn
wrong.
that
He was corrected.
this
He
action
was corrected.
in of itself,
No,
takes
it's
a person
batil.
out of
Amazing.
Islam.
Amazing. Let me respond to that. Wallahi, and
That's
that's really big
crazy.
buhtan on the Prophet and Umar radiallahu anhu. A'udhu billah. The thing is, Ya Akhil Aziz, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also sent another verse. If you read Surah Al-Mumtahana, first verse, what did He say? يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا عدوي وعدوكم. Now let's go back to the beginning of the verse. يا أيها الذين آمنوا. Why didn't Allah make takfir of them? He called them believers though. O you who believe, do not take my enemies and your enemies as allies. أولياء تلقون إليهم بالمودة وقد كفروا. Extending to them affection while they have disbelieved in what has come to you of the truth. وقد كفروا بما جاءكم من الحق. Yes. يخرجون الرسول وإياكم أن تؤمنوا بالله ربكم. Having driven out the messenger and yourselves only because you believe in Allah, your Lord. Now, also there's another verse as you mentioned in Surah Al-Ma'idah 551, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَن يَتَوَلَّهُم مِنكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Meaning, and whoever is an ally to them among you, then indeed
Wait,
he's one
finish
of
the
them.
ayah though. Finish the ayah.
يا أخي العزيز, I'm mentioning the point. Just one second. بارك الله فيك. Don't worry.
Because
I
the
will.
ayah doesn't help you. The ayah doesn't help your point. The ayah goes
أخي
against.
العزيز, بالله عليك, just
Yo,
I know the verse.
Shanks, you're not the one debating, nigga.
Well,
Listen, so
let him finish. Let him
so
finish.
when it comes to alliance with the kuffar or al-muwalat مع الكفار, right? There's two types, يا أخي. You have to know, right? Because some people they have no knowledge on this and they start takfirin. There's at-tawalli, which means that basically that which entails love of idolatry or love of an unbelief, shirk, having love for its people due to their shirk and belief, supporting them, etc. Yani with the intention of basically making unbelief and idolatry prevail over Islam, right? This is called what? At-tawalli. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about when He says, وَمَن يَتَوَلَّهُم مِّنكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. But also you need to know there's something called al-muwalat, right? There's al-muwalat, which is muwalat sughra, muwalat kubra. It could be both, right? It depends.